Hello, Internet, and welcome to a new show. We are here to play some Cage Unlocked. Um, just realizing it's not actually shown on this screen, but you saw it on the starting soon screen, so, and it's on the Twitch title and, all that good stuff. But this is, we talked about it, I believe, last Tuesday. Sort of a pickup game that we are going to be doing in the place of Squire Squad when we don't have the full cast available. As you can see, we not have a Z with us tonight. But we decided we wanted to do a game in its place. And so LB offered to run us in a Monster of the Week game, and so that's what we'll be doing. Let's see, channel stuff. We just here in the states we just had Thanksgiving, so we had a couple of shows not happen, but I believe they had Dungeons and Dragons last night, and got this happening now. And then Thursday we should be back with Elegant Creatures, our other Monster of the Week game on the channel. But that one has been going for a little while now and is actually coming to an end soonish. I believe we'll be entering the final arc of that game soon. Um, and Friday will be Red Jenny, the Dragon Age RPG. Pay no attention to the behind the curtain behind wings. And then Monday we'll be back around to Dungeons and Dragons again for the Strixhaven game. I think that's it schedule wise. You should always be following us on the social medias for as long as they continue to avoid crashing and burning. We've got a Twitter, we've got a Discord, and we've got a YouTube where you can watch our years of content. And in case you ever miss any of our shows, you can catch the episodes you missed on YouTube there. We've also got some merchandise, which none of us are sporting, but we've got mugs, hoodies, shirts, stickers, lots of good stuff, and those funds will help pay for art for the shows. So that is a fantastic way to support us. And I think that's it in terms of channel stuff. Let's see. How do we want to go around and introduce ourselves? We've got kind of a zigzag going on.
Oh, top row, bottom row.
All right.
Hi, I'm LB Hackup. You can find me at LB Hackup on the Twitters and the Twitches. I 100% on my screen, the tail walking across, thought that it was going to go across back into Alex's because that's who's next to you. I was like, I'm clearly having a time today. But yeah, I'm going to be running the game tonight. So if you guys want to go around, I'm going to be the keeper. If you guys want to say the name of your character and the playbook, we'll get into backstories first. So I think Alex, you're next. Yeah.
Yes, I am also on the top row. So hello, I'm Alex. I'm some guy on the internets, mostly on this channel, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then often on LB's channel, Sunday evenings for the shenanigans over there. But in this game, I will be playing Eddie, whose playbook is The Crooked. That takes us to David next.
All right. Yep. David, you can find me on Tuesday nights here on GGK, where I'm either running or playing. And tonight I am playing Cam or Camael, the Divine Playbook.
All right, that leaves me. Hey, everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com or on Twitter as @DanaeKeener. Today, I'm going to be playing as Agent Phillips, who is the professional playbook.
All right. Well, before we get into things, I guess I'll give you guys a just brief overview of the setting, and then we'll go over our histories just to kind of remind ourselves and solidify. We did do histories. I think everyone did histories beforehand. Does that sound right? So this game takes place in a city called Moza, Louisiana. It's basically dead center, right next to the Kisatchie National Forest, Kisatchie National Forest. One of the largest pieces of natural landscape in Louisiana. has about 604,000 acres of public land, most of which is longleaf pine, flatwoods, vegetation, but there are also some streams, which means there are some bayous in there, swampy lands. The city is fairly small. The population is about 1,000 people, so very small. You're about 15 minutes away from Alexandria, which is the biggest city. So it's not that far. It's a lot of just rural land here. You have a police station. There is a very, very small newspaper that kind of puts together like a pamphlet. And then also you can get your national state news from them as well. It's mostly online now, but there is somebody who runs the paper. You have the ranger station close by, maybe 20-30 minutes away. That's for the National Forest. Let's see, there's a high school, which basically is like high school, middle school, elementary school. And there's not a lot of kids in the area, so they usually do schooling there, but will bus people outside of town if there aren't enough kids to go to school. Thank you for settling down. There is a library. It's kind of a library mixed with the police station in the same building, not in the same, like there's a different doors, but same building. That's also where the like city council stuff is, which is there is a mayor, but they also run the the convenience store called the Family Standard. But beyond that, it's a pretty quiet town. And yeah, so that is the setting. Why don't we talk about how you guys know each other and kind of why you've settled here for now, or if you've been here for a while. So anybody want to take it away with a little description of their character and your histories?
I suppose I can start because I think we kind of determined that I am the connecting thread between the others. So Eddie is something of a grifter. He has been in the game for a couple decades now. He's in his 40s. Hair is starting to thin. Got a little bit of a paunch to him. But he is here in Moza because he and his faithful crew have taken it upon themselves to fabricate Bigfoot sightings in the local national park, and specifically close to Moza, which has done some good for driving tourism to the town. So most of the locals are in on it. They are aware that Eddie and his crew are doing this, and for the most part, they look kindly on that. Though the local police, not so much, because they're still technically doing crimes, doing that in the national park, and probably some trespassing, going off the paths that you're not supposed to. Did I talk about how the others know about me now, or should we do more of a here's who everyone is, so it'll make a bit more sense for how things are related?
Yeah, why don't you, David, take away telling us a little about your character?
All right. So my character, Camiel, or Cam, is an angel who has been sent to this earth by God to protect Eddie. So character, he's tall, he's like 6'6". He's got long blonde shoulder length hair that's like not put up or anything. It just kind of, it looks well brushed. He's wearing a perfect suit, and his eyes are starry, so it's just like sprinkles of starlight in there. And yeah, he would have come to town, appearing in a church and looking for Eddie very openly. as Cam does not or cannot lie. One of those two. And so he eventually finding him, but
Mhm.
yeah, more story for after.
Yeah. All right, Danae, take it away.
Well, I've got the professional playbook. I'm playing as Agent Phillips. He's a fella who's kind of in his late 30s, roughly. He is painfully generic looking, and that's good because he is an undercover agent for the Agency of Anomaly Assessment. That's right. He's from AAA. And that's precisely what he'll tell you if anybody ever asks him about his occupation. He typically wears a suit with a black tie, and he's got an earpiece in his ear that doesn't really look like it's connected to anything, but he's on that Bluetooth. Yeah, that's his appearance. As to why he is here, well, for some reason an angel started following this other guy around, and that's pretty suspect. So we need to figure out what that's all about.
All right. So you blew into town, finding out that there is a literal angel with capital G God. In this world and many other settings of Monster of the Week, all the gods are viable. So we're talking Christianity, capital G, OD. So why don't we go through our histories, and you guys can tell us more about how you know everybody.
Yeah, so coming back around to me, obviously Cam was out looking for Eddie, but specifically, Cam showed up right when Eddie learned that, oh shit, the supernatural's real. So Eddie and his crew were out, doing a fake shooting, sighting a Bigfoot when a monster showed up that is the natural predator of Bigfoots, Big Feet, Sats, Squatches, and well, unfortunately, it managed to get one of Eddie's crew, but before it got the rest of them, Cam showed up and it saved us, and specifically Eddie from the monster. Which we did we decide that the actual thing was basically like a blink Tyrannosaurus Rex from some other dimension.
Yes. A dimension jumping Tyrannosaurus Rex, yes.
A blink rat.
Yep. And then Agent Phillips knows about Eddie's past as a criminal. Now realizing like, oh, we need to look into why this guy is of interest to an angel. So he is well aware of Eddie's past misdeeds.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, my history is I showed up when and quickly dispatched the dimension hopping Tyrannosaurus, saving Eddie, and then pretty quickly afterwards just was like, hey, I was sent here by God to protect you. You're important for destiny reasons, which I'm not currently aware of. Just laid it out. And yeah, have kind of been following him around since. History with Agent Phillips is that if I have this correctly, the agency was going to do something about me, and you kind of like tipped me off or something, kind of saving me from being banished or killed or something terrible happening to me.
Yeah, I want to say that like all of our histories pretty rapidly happened surrounding this one event. So when Eddie was doing the Bigfoot scandal, and then the Rex attacked, it turned out the agency was observing this phenomena and was about to let nature take its course when, of course, Cam showed up and prevented that from happening. And so like the agency is all up in arms, like, oh shit, like this is going to be a huge security breach. Like, you know, Eddie's going to survive and tell everybody what he saw. And also like there's a fucking angel here. Like what like that's too much power. We can't let that exist. And Phillips interceded and said, okay, like, hold on. Like, let's just put an agent in there and, you know, like, let's monitor the situation. It's not an emergency yet. And then once it is, yeah, we'll handle it. But like, it's not an emergency. We'll figure this out. So that's why Agent Phillips is here, is just keeping tabs on this whole situation.
All right, which I must be aware of because my history is that I understand that I owe you, at least on an intellectual level, for saving my life.
That sounds right.
So
I want to say that this wasn't just like, you know, red tape bureaucracy. Like there was some like throwing down of arms at some point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. Now my question is, do you guys actually like do you go hunting together, or are you just in this weird polycule?
That's
professionalism.
a pretty professional polycule. That's a pretty good question. I feel like that's really up to Eddie, because we're kind of following him around.
Yeah, and so something that I was a little surprised by when I was reading through the Crooked's playbook is like so much of it is about like before you became a hunter, so it is fairly clear that like yes, you are hunting. And so I think with Eddie it is like, you know, he was very close with the, you know, all of his crew members. And so the loss of one of them to the Blink Rex hit him very hard, and you know he's learned a bit just by, you know, the existence of Cam and from probably, you know, sussing out a little bit from Agent Phillips is like, oh, there's other things that go bump in the night. um and so he has kind of taken it upon himself to help track those down and keep them from getting anyone else. um and so, you know, I think the first few times, or maybe we'll even be getting into like his first hunt with this, but he is very enthusiastic, doesn't necessarily know what he's doing in terms of hunting, but is still sticking around because it's also like, you know, it's lucrative for him and his remaining crew to continue to fabricate these Bigfoot sightings, both for them and for the town. And the town has certainly grown on him, so he does not want to abandon it. And especially if like, oh shit, am I summoning these Blink Rexes here? Well, I have to do something about that before I end up skipping town eventually.
Okay, I dig that. We cool with this being, well, I guess how old is Cam? Or is this your first mission on Earth?
No, I did lead a group of angels to kick Adam and Eve out of Eden. So
you dealt with an orchard thief situation.
yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
So I'm as old as man, at least. So.
Yeah. But like heaven years are different, you know, like
yeah, it's only been 6,000 years for me, right? What's that? Yeah. Isn't that how old the earth is in the Bible?
Yeah, something like that. But how long have you been on Earth?
Oh, not long. I think I probably show up sporadically, so it's probably been like at least a couple hundred years or something since I've been on Earth.
Well, how long have you been here now?
I mean, I wouldn't have been following Eddie around for very long. I probably just happened to find him right in time, because I would have just gone up to him and been like, hey, I'm here to protect you. God sent me. Yep. So, I mean, however long we want that to be, a few weeks, a month, something like that.
Probably about a month.
Okay.
That's pretty recent. Did we ever decide if Cam was Eddie's moral compass? Because I know we decided on our backstory, but what was our like mechanical histories?
Mm-hmm. if Cam is the moral compass, we might be in trouble.
So let's see.
Because thinking about it now, I feel like Phillips has accidentally walked into the moral compass trap. Because if nothing else, he's being the moral compass of the agency.
Mm-hmm. So it was one of my possible prompts, but not the one that I ultimately ended up going with.
What were the ones you got?
So the ones that I have are that Cam saved my life when a monster had the drop on me. Now I owe them one. And
Mhm.
Phillips, this hunter, knows about your criminal past. Tell them what crimes they saw you commit. So
Got
maybe
it.
not, saw me commit, but like looked into my history and like found, the various fake IDs and stuff, and like Eddie probably used to do like more serious crime, but has since like switched to the more harmless,
Uh,
stuff that he's up to these days.
In that case, are the cards on the table with Phillips being a member of the agency, or does he have the cover of being your cousin?
Um,
Because those were other things that we discussed.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, both of those are good options of like, you know, just being like, oh, you're, a third cousin twice removed or something, but uh, I know I had a cousin Philip somewhere, and maybe it's just I've forgotten. Like, oh wait, that was their first name, not your last name.
Oh, let's just do it for the lulls. I can
Yeah.
do something with that. I think that Cam definitely knows that Phillips is a part of an agency.
I'm sure God told me. I was probably like, who the hell is this guy? Why is he showing up in all this Destiny stuff? Or you told me when you're like, hey, I saved you from this agency.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know exactly how powerful you are, and if I get on your bad side, I'm gonna get smote pretty easy. So it's like it was a tactical thing where it's like, all right, cards on the table. Like, I
Have
save
you
your skin, you leave mine alone. I'm just here
did
to
you
observe.
ask me not to reveal the agency's existence to Eddie?
Um,
Because otherwise
I
I just would.
I made it very clear that Eddie's well-being is more intact if he is not aware of the agency.
Okay. Then Eddie might very well be aware you have some kind of secret that I am not able to divulge. Because I won't lie, but I don't have to tell him what's going on. We'll
I'm
see.
into it.
Yeah.
Eddie probably thinks it's like some kind of gambling debt that you've come trying to find some family to get money out of or something.
I mean, hey, like you've got your own secrets, honestly. Like we all understand.
Yep.
We've all got our shady pasts. All right. That
All
that
right.
feels pretty well established. Like, is the dynamic here like Eddie has like this sort of like Grunkle Stan sort of vibe where it's like, I'm gonna make money off of this. But like he's got like two weird besuited angels on his shoulder going like, hey, maybe we can also help some people.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. Uh, I think there was maybe a moment where Eddie was like, "No, I've turned a leaf, and I just need to do this out of the goodness of my heart." But then after like a week or two, it's like, "Wait, no! If I like hunt down these monsters, I can like sell their bits for as like curios."
Incredible. All right. All right. It's all coming together. All right. I'm invested. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. All right, let me just double check my notes to see if there's anything we need to do. Okay, sorry. Eddie, how long has Eddie lived in town?
I want to say at least 6 months, like long enough that he is established in town. Because one of the things that I have is that home ground, your crew made a point of keeping the locals happy, safe, ensuring
Mhm.
things always went down okay. When you're back in your old neighborhood, you can always find people who will hide you or help you with a minor favor, no questions asked. So,
Okay. So I mean, do you want to have lived somewhere else, or do you want this to be like where you grew up?
no, I think he's been all over the country and is like sort of done this
Mhm.
like moving around, and like sometimes crew members have gone with him, sometimes he's
Mhm.
recruited from locally. I think in this
Mhm.
instance, like the remaining crew that he has are all also out of towners, but he is like shown them the ropes of like this is how you get in good with the locals.
Okay. Okay. So
Well,
you how
he's
many?
probably had to move several times over, just
Yeah. Yeah.
like from his wily con man
Mhm.
ways.
Yep, from
And who are your companions? What are their names?
oh, I'm terrible with names. I know at least one of them is Harriet. Uh, call her Harry for short. I think another is Esteban. Um, who I think sometimes we just call Steve. Um,
Okay.
and then um, we'll go with Frank. Can't go wrong with a good old Frank.
All right.
Who died?
And
Yeah.
yeah, who died? Kita, Avita.
What is,
Is there a ghost playbook in
there can
Monster
be
of the Week?
like the
Out of
spooky,
curiosity.
Or the
A spooky.
monstrous.
spooky or the
All right.
monstrous typically.
All right.
Excuse me.
Feel like there's a very tropey name on the tip of my tongue for like, oh, this is the one who always dies. But I can't come up
Oh
with that right
God.
now.
What's the guy from Halo that always dies? Starts with a C.
Captain Keys?
No.
Or no.
Was it? Oh no, Gears of War.
Hmm. It's been so long since I've played any of those
Carmine.
games.
Why don't we just make him Sean,
Sure.
Okay.
as in Sean Bean?
Yeah.
His name is Sean. We can't call him Sean
Uh-huh.
Bean.
His
He could be
nickname
like,
was Beans.
he could be oh Beans.
Sean Beans.
Oh,
Oh,
Beans.
Beans.
And then he said all beans and then died. That was his
Oh.
catchphrase.
Yeah, it was like the dinosaur showed up behind him. He just like looked at all you guys and was like, "Oh, Beans," and then just got eaten.
It was like Sean Legumes. I don't know.
And okay, cool. Well, do they all live together?
I mean, I guess because are there like are there apartments in this town, or is it small enough that it's
No.
just all? Yeah, so
Maybe you like stole an identity and inherited like some old lady's house after she died,
Yeah.
and you're just like, I'm her nephew, and then that's why all the locals are fine
and
with you.
everyone's like, oh, Oh,
Like,
Vivian was
he's
just
all
the sweetest.
yep.
just all hanging out in her house.
Mhm.
Oh no. I'm
it.
realizing now that I can pull strings and like, fabricate like government
Backstories.
yeah, like documents and stuff. Like I can just make this easier for him.
Yeah.
That's true. If you wanted to, do you guys have that relationship where you would do that?
Maybe only in the situation where it's advantageous for us.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
because
fair.
one of the other things about the Crooked is like there are people from my past out to get me. One of whom is
Mhm.
like a police detective has made it a personal goal to put me away. And I think
Mhm.
we kind of said like that was like the one local who didn't like me, or it could be, like a mundane federal agent who is like
Mhm.
trying to track me down.
I
Oh,
do like
no.
that.
If it's the park
I
ranger.
want to. It's Mutt. No, I think that that might come up like later on down the line, but definitely not if we're just doing like one shots.
Sure, yeah.
If
But
if
as we do
if there
more
was
and
a
more
mundane
adventures.
federal agent, he would fucking hate Agent Phillips.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that
All
would be
right.
fun.
Okie dokie. Is there anything else we need to talk about before we get into things? Yes. All right. Sounds good to me. I guess let's jump into things. I want to know what your character would be doing on a, we'll say, a Tuesday afternoon. It's like just past noon, maybe 1 o'clock. It's a mid-spring day in the lovely state of Louisiana. The humidity is up. The sun is out and bearing down. There's a lot of shade. You're by the National Forest, but the city is quiet for midday. Everyone who is working is busy. Everyone who, there's maybe some people out mowing their lawn, but for the most part, it is a quiet afternoon in town. What are you guys doing?
Eddie is probably with his crew going over the latest pictures that they took, trying to, blur them up. God damn these HD cameras these days, making our job harder. We gotta make it look shakier, a trail cam that's been, knocked down a couple of times.
Yeah, that's why we always try to do the actual rolls of film instead of digital. But digital is easy to manipulate once you get into it. This is Harriet.
Right, and that's why we got you on the team. I can't wrap my head around that stuff, but you're a natural at it.
Yeah, you really gotta go digital, Eddie.
I got a credit card, I got a smartphone, but that's it's I still remember back when the mice for the keyboards had a little rolly wheel in it. Like you just got them lasers these days.
Yeah, you're very analog. I think you want to. I got this. I can handle this. Okay, go ahead and just do your own thing. Okay.
All right.
Work on the suit. It's getting a little dirty.
Oh yeah. Right. And then goes off to find Frank, who is probably the one who mostly helps with maintaining the suit.
Just passed out on the couch, like legs spread on with his feet up on the coffee table. Kind of just head back.
Grabs a magazine off the table and tosses it onto his face. Frank!
What
Frank.
What happened? Do we have to go?
Not yet, but we're going tonight, so we gotta get the suit ready.
Oh, why is it always at night?
Cause
What's wrong with it? Did it break again?
well, did you fix it from the last time it broke?
Can't truly recall.
Well, then let's go take a look. Otherwise, we're gonna have to put this off for another night or two.
And puts his beer down, moves over. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I feel like Phillips has interceded himself into this group. Only he's Eddie's cousin, Phil. And so he's just sort of like always in the background, like wearing civilian clothing. I think a Hawaiian shirt is a little bit too tropical for this area. Let's say a flannel and jeans. But he always has like those sunglasses on. So he's just sort of like hanging out in the background quietly.
In the same house. Is Cam there too? What does Cam do during the day?
I think I am going to be running a couple errands because I'm gonna. Part of what I have to do is prepare Eddie for his destiny. So I think I'm going to run some drills after lunch. So I'm going to get drills. I'm going to pick up, or not drills. I'm going to pick up some lunch and and then some swords. So I'm gonna pop over somewhere, big city, do similar to kind of how we started the other one shot. I'm gonna just go to a church in a big city and go like look for some street food, some protein,
Mm-hmm.
and get enough for everybody. And then I'm gonna pop over to the Vatican and steal some swords, and then pop back.
That's true. You can just do that. Oh yeah, they are all about it. I feel like in Alexandria, the do you go to like a Christian, a Catholic, a Baptist? What like
I think any church, as long
Yeah,
as it's
yeah.
to the Christian God.
Yeah. Okay. So probably, yeah, no, you probably find yourself at a lovely Baptist church. You get just the best. You get like mac and cheese, cornbread, like all the good fixings, fried chicken. I'm so fucking hungry. All right, yes. Uh, and you were able to pop back to the house, drop it off, and then pop over to the Vatican. You don't hide anything from anyone, right? So you're just popping in and out of the house, and like the other residents know you, my dude.
I guess I kind of had a question. Like, if you're showing up in churches, like, how do the crowds handle like
Yeah.
what?
How has this affected
Like,
the population?
Oh boy.
Like,
Um
is Cam
yeah,
a
you
viral
are-
sensation? Like, the weird handsome man showed up at our church, and then
yeah.
I think I
Yes.
keep it a little low key because I don't
Mhm.
want I don't want to attract attention to Eddie for my being there.
Right.
So I'm like, appearing in like an attic of a church. And if someone sees me, they see me. And
I
I give
mean,
them
yeah.
a quick blessing and move on.
I mean, it's probably been like a kid, a pastor, a little
Yeah.
old
Oh, yeah.
lady.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably like go up to someone, like in the
Yeah.
case of stealing the swords from the Vatican, I probably go inform some Vatican person, like, I'm taking these swords.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. No. Of course. Take it. Like, but in Italian.
yeah.
No. I think
just go.
I would assume you told like at least one person at the Vatican who you are, like proved it, and then like probably a couple pastors. Like,
Are you hitting
I go
anybody with
steal
a
some
be not
swords.
afraid?
I go
Yeah.
steal some swords. I got a bunch of them. I appear in front of the Pope, and I'm just like, I'm taking these swords, and then I just peace out.
Oh, you
that's
scamp.
good.
Okay. I like that. So yeah, no, I think Frank is gonna go sew up the suit. He like it constantly breaks because he is adequate at sewing, but not good. So he, has the sew, he's got the thread in his mouth, and he's like sewing with the needle, and Harriet's working on the pictures, and then Esteban is probably out back doing some landscaping just for funsies. But yeah, you guys are just hanging out at the house. If Cam pops back in with a bunch of swords, and you guys have just recently discovered the scent of some really good home cooking, as there is just food that has appeared in the kitchen. Cam, you pop back in.
I go, all right, everybody needs to eat up. We're going to do some drills this afternoon. Everyone needs to be a lot more comfortable with swords.
all right, okay. Everyone heard Cam. Let's get to eating and then get to chopping or stabbing. What do you do with swords? What's the best way to use them?
Oh my god! I mean both, but these ones are more of in. I mean, so these ones are versatile, right? So we're going with the European style longsword. So chop more often than not, but you can get a good stab in there. It's got a long reach. Anyways, we'll be doing some basic drills. So you really won't be doing that to anything yet. Because you mortals die very easily. And I don't want you to. And these are real swords. So don't chop anything or stab anything for real yet.
Okay, Dad. Like, helps take the food and like spread it out in the kitchen for people to serve themselves.
I think I'm one sword short, and I will look to one of the hench men and just be like, "Oh, you're still here. Someone will. You can sit this one out, I guess. I don't want to go get more
Frank's like,
swords."
fucking rude, but all right. I don't want to play with swords anyway. And Harriet's like, you can totally take my turn. I got a lot of work to do, actually. I'm writing a script for a new podcast. So
That's useless. You definitely need the sword work more than Frank. Writing isn't going to get you out of anything. So let's get a sword.
does he have to stay here?
Listen, I tried telling him to, try one of the houses down the street, but he just kept showing up in the shower when I went in each morning. So it's for
That is
better
all.
or worse, I think we got him, like a flight of honey.
I appreciate your metaphor. I still don't like it. And I don't like you, Cam.
That's fine.
Phillips is going to
I imagine you won't have to put up with me for long. So
implications. Phillips is going to quietly fill a plate and then sit back down and continue his crossword puzzle.
All right. You guys start filling your plates. And as you do, you hear a knock on the door, a full, like, side of the fist, boom, boom, boom.
Anyone
I will
expecting
appear in
company?
front of the door.
Jesus.
Cam, I'll get it. Like, sets food down, goes up, and like, I assume Cam is just like over his shoulder as he opens the door.
Yes. And on the other side, you see Officer Hailstorm, the chief of police for this city, and a couple cities around. The police force is quite small, so they kind of sit in the middle and handle a lot of different, a couple different cities. There's about 3 police officers that you know of. You see Tact. He is a middle-aged, taller gentleman, maybe 6'2", has what would a lot of people will refer to as a dad bod, broad shoulders. He's got a very thick, peppered beard, with like salt and pepper beard. He's wearing his aviator glasses and his police hat, and he sort of takes off his glasses, like looks at you, looks at Cam, looks inside. Could I speak to you, Eddie?
Officer, you want some taters? Mike points back to the kitchen.
No, thank you. I'm on police business.
Wipes fingers on shirt to clean up. Everything okay?
Well, we've been having reports of a figure sulking in backyards, and I want to make sure you're not getting up to your business and anybody's property.
No, not in anybody's property. We've been doing, a couple test runs in our yard, but when it's game time, we're out in Kasachi.
Well, Kasachi does go back up into a few neighborhoods, and in the neighborhood of the Shire, which is actually a neighborhood in Michigan. Also, in the Shire neighborhood, there are reports of a, well, to be frank, a rancid smell, but also recently in the past couple days, a figure sulking about in the backyards of some of the residents. They are not taking kindly to it. Can you prove your whereabouts last night and your operation?
Yeah. Harry, can you pull up the geodata of some of the photos that we took?
I got you, buddy. Tact kind of like takes their hat off and says, "Now, what is geodata?"
Oh, I mean, I didn't know it until Harry had explained it to me, but it's like when you take a photo, these devices these days are real smart. When you take a photo, they know where the hell on earth you are. And so it's like attached to the photo. And so, you have to go looking for it, but then the computer can find it easily enough. And so, just go and, into the files and you can pull up and it'll tell you like, oh yeah, and show you on the map of Kasachi where we were.
You had me and then you lost me. You talk too much.
I lost myself too.
All right. Harry, could you send those files over to Alan at the police department? I could not make heads or tails of them. You have a lot of like cameras and stuff, right? Olio?
Yeah, we got some, in case something goes wrong with them or we want to get, multiple angles.
If this metadata can prove that you aren't in the people perpetrating, I might require some assistance on this one. Our office isn't very large. Our station is spread pretty thin, and figures in the night are not our top priority, if you know what I'm saying.
Right, and if people are thinking it's us, they're giving us a bad name, and we can't have that.
Right. Prove your name. Make yourselves known for yes. No, this is gonna benefit you more than it is me, for sure. So let me tell you where you need to be. Show you the property lines, and maybe you can talk to some of the people around and figure out if there's a now if there is a person stalking around in the dusk. I would appreciate you giving us a call first and not handling it on your own. All right?
Sure, it's sure it's just misunderstanding. Just have some words with them, and teach them how to do their job better if they're gonna be doing this. If people can smell the suit that they're using, I'm surprised that they're able to stand upright in it. I mean,
I don't think the smell is from a suit. It seems to be a pretty constant and abrasive scent.
right, okay, but I mean, we went a little long without washing our suit for, because we were camping out trying to get the perfect shot, and Frank nearly passed out. Got so bad, so this person must either not be able to smell or everyone likes their own funk a little bit.
Right. Well, if you do find someone, just observe, okay? Get the information on data, find out where they park, get their license plate, all that sort of information. And if you do see them going into, somebody's house or yard, give us a call and we'll come out as quick as we can, all right?
All right, sounds good. Tact.
All right. Observe, document. Yes,
Officer.
large feller.
You said this wasn't your top priority. Is there something worse happening?
Well, not necessarily at this moment, but if there is, we can't, there are other things in the city that go about, so.
I see. You can't bother solving crimes in case a worse crime happens.
Well, there is no proof of a crime so far, so.
Then why are you here?
To make sure that there's not, because I'm doing my job of protecting and serving. Sir?
Which was the name Alan that we're sending the data to?
Yes.
Seems like he's doing the job.
Well, he is the tech analyst. I'm the one. Well, I'm here doing a job. Are you? Who are you?
I'm Cam.
Tall feller. Well, if you're not feeling up to it, that's fine. But if y'all don't mind,
I don't mind at all.
wonderful.
I'm happy to help do your job.
Thank you very much.
That's why we like Cam. He's a very helpful fella.
Indeed. Well, if you see anything, let me know. I'll check back in with you tomorrow afternoon or so.
We'll email Alan.
Thank you. Ma'am, sirs, tall one, puts his sunglasses back on, walks back to his squad car.
He seems very incompetent.
Yeah, I mean, it's just took a little bit of sweet talking to him the first time we rolled into town, and he didn't give us any more trouble. But he means well.
Does he?
I mean, he means well. He doesn't necessarily do well.
All right. I think maybe there's a nuance here that I'm missing, but
Right. Well,
Bill, what's your opinion? Terrible at his job, or acceptably proficient given our situation?
Phil is tucked into his mac and cheese. I think you should probably try not to talk to him too much.
If you say so. We'll see.
you gotta talk to him. Just talk him in circles, like I was doing with the metadata.
Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be hard.
Usually isn't, but sometimes he does get a bit like a dog with a bone in his mouth and just won't let go.
If he gets
How many?
too nosy, ask him for a warrant.
Will that be hard for him to get, considering the nature of where we are?
It depends. How many crimes have you done?
Personally, I'm not sure. The laws of man don't concern me, generally speaking, so.
Yeah, well, when one is among men, one should concern themselves more with their laws.
We'll see.
Cornbread?
No thanks.
I think as those two were talking, Eddie was going around to the hench people, the big feet, as I've called them on my sheet, and just been like, "This you? Do you know what he's talking about?" And like trying to figure out if any of them have any idea about figures in people's backyards.
No. So he tells you guys about this. He had told you guys about the Shire, which is a neighborhood, sort of. I would say it's about 30 minutes north of where you are, sort of on the edge. It's one closer towards oh, not north, probably west. It's closer towards Alexandria, and it's sort of like the suburbs, where they're kind of building directly towards the back of this national forest. You guys would know, it's sort of a cookie cutter, like 70s style, a lot of ranches area, but it is very modern in that the open concepts, and it's probably built within the last 10 years or so. But yeah, so it does back up right to the forest. That is sort of more of the swampy area, or the beginning of, before you get into the actual bayou or the swamp sort of spot. So the smell, you know that swamp smell. So this, it could be a little bit of that. But if they've been around for a while, hard to say. But yeah, that's the information that he's giving you. He gives you a name, Jacob Bush, who was the owner that complained about a figure in their backyard. And they gave you his address in the neighborhood.
All right. Well, I think this is something that Cam, Phil, you two up for a bit of a road trip?
Absolutely.
If you insist.
Yeah, the others can get things ready for tonight, but we should, nip this in the bud before it becomes more of a problem than it might be.
Are we bringing out cameras to try and catch this thing on film or tape or whatever the digital equivalent is?
Yeah, that could be good. Help, as Officer Hailstrom said, observe and document. So if we can get them on camera creeping around people's backyards, we'll be able to hand that over and they'll be able to do something about it.
And if this is something more along the lines of the T-Rex,
Well, that's why I keep my baseball bat in the truck and 38 in my pocket. Goes and gets that in a. You think we take some of the swords or that no good yet?
um,
We leave them here for them to practice with while we're gone.
I'm not comfortable with either one, honestly. I might take them back to the Vatican if I'm not here to supervise.
You got this from the Vatican?
Of course.
Okay.
They maintain their swords well there.
Phillips takes a moment to touch his ear.
All right, everyone, hand me your swords.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm just going to drop them. I don't have time to put them back where I got them from. I'm just going to drop them in the Pope's room and leave.
Butthead.
Ladders.
And yes, I am blowing bubbles. Abaddon fucking loves them. And it's a good transition. Ba-da-da-da. So what are you guys bringing to this stakeout?
I mean, some of the spare cameras, not the really good ones that we use, or yeah, some of the cameras. I keep feeling like I should have a truck, but it's not actually one of the pieces of gear that I have.
You can have a truck. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
But so
That is a reasonable thing for someone to own.
Phillips used to carry around a briefcase, but he has since shifted the contents to a duffel bag.
I like it. I like it.
I-
Okie dokie.
I think that whatchamacallit, that Eddie has a deputy's badge of questionable veracity that he is bringing along. Probably from an old scam that he used to run. But to help in asking questions so that we're not just some weirdos who showed up that the cops wanted us to talk to you.
Okay.
Is this neighborhood the same town? Like, still the 1,000 people?
Same county, different town.
Okay.
Technically. All right. And so where are you guys going to go first? Are you going to go straight to the neighborhood? Do you want to, like, if I guess I'll say if you want to like observe in the woods, like close to that area, you're going to have to go into the park, and to like get to that area specifically, probably have to talk to a park ranger as to like to not get lost, sort of thing. Like, it is a big forest and there's not necessarily a road that goes close, so it might be a good idea to talk to them. You go talk to the homeowner, see if they, what they have or what they know, and or you can like just kind of go into the neighborhood and like creep in their backyards. It's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. I mean, don't do that, but you can do that if you want to.
It is an option.
It is an option.
I don't know, Phil, you got that college learning. What do you think is the best way to go about this?
Well, Occam's razor. Most likely it's just a wild animal. Maybe a bear. Maybe it's teenagers. I feel like we need more information before we can make any deliberations at this point. So either speak to a witness or somebody who's familiar with the area, one of the rangers.
Well, let's go talk to this Jacob Bush first. It'll be easier to get to him than it will be to get into the park and get to the area around. Maybe it'll give us enough that we need, or maybe we'll, have to go hiking.
If nothing else, we can get permission to poke around his backyard.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds perfect. You guys get in your pickup truck. I assume a 4-door, a big ol' F-250. I know trucks.
I don't know.
You hop in and drive the 20 or so minutes over to the Shire, which is a lovely little neighborhood. There's probably about 50, maybe 40 houses in this neighborhood. It's again, getting closer to the city, so it's a bigger populated area. Very cookie cutter, kind of easy to misinterpret which house is where, but they are fairly far apart out here. They're not sort of layered on top of each other like a lot of big cities. And you can see the road that you guys drive up to is in the back, facing into the forest. I'm sorry, their backyards face into their forest. And you get up to this sort of yellow painted home and walk up to the door, give it a knock, and a woman answers. She sort of holds her hands on the side of the door, looking at all of you, and says, can I help you?
Yes, hi. Morning, ma'am, or afternoon. We were asked by Officer Hailstorm, Tact Hailstorm, told us that you had mentioned seeing some figure lurking around of late.
Oh, yes. Jacob. She calls back into the house. A gentleman rounds the corner, very tall and thin. He's got dark hair, a clean shaven face, very well put together as far as his outfit goes. And he sort of walks up and gets the information from his wife about why you guys are there, and he says, "Oh, yeah, no, please come on in."
Mighty kind of you.
Directs you guys to the living room. I really want there to be a conversation pit, but if it's a modern, if there's no conversation pit, it's just an open concept. I think he'll take you into the kitchen, where there's a very large table and there's glass panes sort of all throughout the back of this house. The kitchen has a couple large windows, and then the eating area has just like floor to ceiling windows basically that look out into the forest. And he asks you guys to take a seat, and he says, "Are you some investigators, reporters, detectives?"
Little column A, little column B. We are, we're unofficial deputies, you might say.
I see.
I mean, we can call up Officer Hailstorm and he'll confirm that he asked us to speak with you if that would set you at ease. But it's a big county and there are only so many men.
Yeah, I understand. So what do you want to know?
You just like to hear it from you what you saw or thought you saw.
All right. Well, we've been having this intense smell coming from the forest. Swamps stank. They do. And on a warm summer's night, when the wind's blowing right, we do get that sort of intensity from that. But this is just a real rank smell, almost like if you combine rotten milk and rotten eggs, and sort of when you let water sit out for too long, it has those skeeters in it. Just from about like sundown to sun up, basically just this wall hits this whole area, and so sometimes it keeps us up. We've been talking to the homeowner association about it, been talking to the local city council, anyone we can, and nobody really knows what smells from. There's no garbage dump or anything around here like that. So the smell was intense one night, and realized I hadn't reset the air fresheners and refilled them. So I decided to go and do that. We've been hanging them in the vents where the AC comes in, so that it has sort of permeates most of the house. But I realized I hadn't switched them out in a few days, and it was sort of just coming in. So I got up. It was about probably about 1:30 in the morning, very late, and I went into the kitchen. I turned on the light, and right before I did, I thought I saw something in the woods right as I was flipping the switch on. Of course, when the light comes on, it's hard to see outside. It can't, the light. So I turned the light back off, and I swear I saw of a figure, a person, looked like just sort of scurried back into the woods. And maybe I thought my mom was playing tricks on me, but last night sort of similar situation happened where I got up for another glass of bourbon and decided to wash my hands in the sink before I poured my second glass. And
oh no, she froze.
Oh no.
Thought that was
looked
just a
out the
dramatic
window.
pause.
I thought I saw. Well, I almost like no.
Okay.
I thought I saw a child. Good. Can you see me?
Yes.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
we can hear you now.
You're
Yes.
still catching up. There's a little bit of audio-visual lag.
Weird. I didn't get an unstable or anything.
One of the cats stuck on the internet.
No, Abaddon's sitting here looking at me, waiting for more bubbles, and Simon is sleeping. I'll give you more in a second. So you heard.
Second glass of bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like,
Looked
as you,
out the window.
and as you were coming back, heard, thought he saw a child.
Yeah. So of course I got concerned. Walked out to the door. Walked outside trying to call the little feller, making sure he's okay. And it just as soon as I opened that door, that stench just knocked me on my ass. Like literally, I fell back and hit my head on the bench, and quickly closed the door. And well, I don't know what it was or who it was. Maybe it was a full-size person. It's hard to see at night, but it did look smaller, I guess. I don't know. If it is someone skulking around in our backyard, I do want them, reminded that this is private property, and I don't want to have any issues with the missus and, having the family here. So I make sure to lock all our doors at night, and we have installed the security system this past weekend. So at least a door ringer sort of thing. So hopefully we don't have any issues. But I, just want to feel safe in my own home.
Sure, makes sense.
The smell comes every night without fail.
Most nights. It is not a thing that it's not a constant, and it isn't really at the same time every day sort of thing. Sometimes it comes right when the sun sets. Sometimes it comes a little bit later, but usually when it's dark out, we do get the same. Yeah.
As it,
Looking out the windows, how far away are the woods from his house? How far is he looking?
Like 30 yards.
Okay, that's not fun.
Has the stench come back since you installed this security system?
Oh yes, yes, definitely. And it's not just me who smells it, it's the neighborhood. Mostly concentrated on the houses that, from the forest sort of situation.
So, like the streets across the, or the houses across the street don't smell it as bad?
Yes.
So it diffuses that quickly. Okay. It's something close making it.
Yeah. Or something far enough away that we're on the edge of it. Is there any other questions I can help you with?
You know somewhere that we could, maybe, I guess call it a stakeout. Somewhere that, we're not gonna get the cops called on us for lurking about. But if it
Well,
does stink as bad as you say, I would hate to do so, out in the open. I'd like to have something in between.
I've heard say that there are cabins in the woods. But I can't. I have kids, and I would love to offer you my house to do the stakeout in, but school nights and all that.
Sure.
I mean, you might want to talk to rangers, see if there's something you can do in the actual forest. I mean, if you like to set up a camera in the backyard, I don't mind that, but just lurking with the kids around, sort of thing. Don't want to scare them off.
If we could arrange for you to stay in a hotel or something for the night, would that be acceptable?
Well, you all seem very nice, but I don't feel very comfortable having you come into my home and, taking it over for the day or the night, Plus with the kids, they got to go to school, and no offense.
Right, none taken. It would be quite the imposition, but
But like I said, if you want to set up cameras in the backyard, as long as they're not pointing into my house, that'd be all right. And I think, talk to the ranger, see if you can get some accommodations in there. There might be a trail at, a road that runs the perimeter. That seems likely.
That's pretty reasonable. Why don't we set up those cameras and then we can go talk to the rangers?
like a good deal to me.
Agent Phillips indoors has not removed his sunglasses.
I love it. Okay.
Have we started the mystery yet? Should I do my?
Yes, you can.
start
You
of-
can roll your
okay.
start of mystery thing. Unless you've
Alright.
got a little bit of information.
So, make a weird roll.
Yeah.
First roll of the game.
Let's go.
Flip.
Oh, that's
Oh, dang.
dang. Okay.
That's a 12.
Boss from Beyond. At the beginning of each mystery, roll plus weird. On a 10 plus, your superiors ask you to do something small. Let's see. Ask them to do something difficult. In either case, you get to ask them one question from the investigative mystery and move right now. Yeah. So, is this you are contacting the Big G?
Yeah,
Okay.
he is my
Oh,
superior.
Did I made it a woman last time, right? I think God can appear as anything they want.
I think
so...
God was Midwestern last time.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Yes, they were. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Investigate. A memory is not opening up on my roll. Everything else will open.
Huh.
So what? Investigate a mystery?
It opened earlier, but now it won't.
So
Oh wait, is it behind your
might be.
character sheet?
Could be.
It shouldn't be. I've minimized them. I'll exit out of the character sheet too.
For
Yeah.
the folks at home as well, in case you've never seen Monster of the Week before, questions that you can ask are: what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? what was it going to do, or what is being concealed here?
Oh.
LB, can you remind me the name of this lady
The lady.
that we're speaking to?
Jacob.
Oh, we're speaking to a man.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
the
cool.
wife answered the door.
You
and then
can't-
The
called
wife
husband.
answered the door, and we are
You
speaking
don't
to
know
Jacob.
from my voice. Yeah, no. You have we're talking to Sarah answered the door, Sarah Bush, and you were talking to Jacob Bush right now.
Got it. Sure thing.
Okay. I don't care about what can hurt it because my sword can hurt it.
Mm.
So I'm leaning towards where did it go, or what sort of creature is it? Do people have a preference?
I think it's more fun to know where it went.
Okay.
Eliminate some
Okay.
of the running around.
All right.
You
Yeah.
you contact the big G. How do you do that? I'm gonna say this happens while Eddie and Agent Philip are setting up photos or video cameras in the backyard.
Mhm.
And so how do you is it your god kind of just pulls you out for a second? It's like, hey, what's up?
I think I just disappear and appear before God and was like, I have questions.
Mm-hmm. All right. So as you do that, you find yourself in a very blank. I'm gonna say God's in a bar right now. God's hanging out on Earth for a time. They are a very scruffy looking gentleman sitting at the bar, but you instantly recognize them through your divine gifts. Make your way over to them, and they just kind of look at you and say, "Oh, hey, how you doing?"
Hello. Yes, I have questions about what is going on with Eddie and his destiny and whatnot. There's a creature that we are currently hunting.
Mm.
We believe it to be a creature, anyways. And I would like to know where it is. Where it has gone.
Well, it's gone into the forest. Of course, you saw it doing that. But where specifically? I'll give you this. Because I like you and you're doing good work out here. All right?
I appreciate it, Lord.
The creature has found a home for it and others. Find your way into the forest. Follow your nose. Follow the trail. Find the creature. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them somewhere, and they stink so bad we should be able to smell our way right to
That's it.
them. Okay.
Oh, but before you go,
Yes.
I'm going to ask something of you.
Of course, Yahweh.
There's more going on here than you think. Have
There usually
compassion
is.
in your heart and look beyond what you see.
For what?
Well,
The humans?
I do work in mysterious ways, so I can't give you all the answers.
Are you implying I shouldn't kill the monsters?
You're a good angel, Cam. I know you'll do what's right.
All right. I thank you. I'll just
There's
kind of.
one more thing.
Oh,
If you
I
find
like disappear and reappear.
if you find a good place with the skee ball machine, will you please let me know? I think I've gotten all of them at this point, but
Ski ball machine.
yeah, you roll the ball, it goes in the hole.
I don't know. I'll keep an eye out. They don't seem to have them at churches usually, but
No, it's a shame.
should I tell people to install them at churches for you?
They must find their own path.
I just spoke to the Pope earlier. I'm sure he could do something. They have like the fourth largest economy in the world or something like that.
We try not to interfere that much, don't we, Cam?
Do we?
Yes.
Oh,
That's the whole free will thing, remember? We talked about this.
he can do what he wants. He doesn't have to build skee ball machines. He's dedicated his life to you. I'm sure he would love to know what you want.
I like to let them find their own way.
All right.
Remember, I tried that whole thing with my son? That didn't end well for anybody. It still isn't ending well for people, so hands off as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Go on my way, my child.
All right. I'll just disappear.
All right. Okay. You pop back in.
It's like right in front of Eddie.
Oh, hey, Cam. Coming to help with the cameras. I think this is the last one we're
Oh.
gonna set up.
No, I'm not helping with that. So speaking to God, it seems like we should be able to just smell these things out. Just go into the woods, smell a path.
Is this the first time that we've heard Cam speak of speaking directly to God?
I mean, probably. You haven't known him that long.
All right.
Yeah, we haven't done any missions, so without mysteries, I wouldn't have to go seek out.
Yeah, just I'm sorry, did you just say that you spoke to God?
Of course.
Directly to God?
Yeah.
In person?
Yep.
You went all the way back to your plane and spoke to
No, he was hanging out somewhere in some weird dive bar.
he's here?
I mean, he's technically everywhere.
Phillips takes a moment to touch his ear.
Did you catch what God was drinking?
I didn't pay attention. He likes skee ball. Do you know where any skee ball is? It's got to be obscure too, because he's pretty sure he's found all skee ball. So we're looking for perhaps an underground skee ball club. I don't know. He doesn't want me to tell churches to build them, which is weird. But
It might be a bit, out of place at a church, but I mean, you can
Why
always
not?
go to Dave and Buster's
I'm
or
sure.
Chuck E.
Is that a?
Cheese. But, if God has, found them all, then yeah, we'll keep an eye out. But sorry,
How
I'm
hard
just
is it to build skee ball? We could do it ourselves.
maybe.
Oh, also, he told me. Oh, I forgot. There was a thing he asked that we should approach the situation with compassion, basically, and that all may not be what it seems. Oh, and the thing we're going after, there's a bunch of them. That's why it smells so bad. There are a bunch of them hanging out in a place. I'm thinking maybe we're not supposed to kill them, but I don't know. I can't be 100%. God is pretty insistent on being mysterious.
That seems like it should be their right to do that.
I suppose.
Well, I mean,
Yes, I said skee ball. Yes, write it down. I don't know why. Just write it down.
who are you talking to, Phil?
Myself.
All right, you got one of them voice memos.
Yes. Your voice
Right.
memo, it talks back, it gives you lip, complains about what you ask it to do.
You were saying that there were multiples?
Yeah, bunch of them, and approach it with compassion, maybe. But maybe not them. Until we find, okay, so whatever most deserves compassion, definitely do that. And then we'll see.
Well, I guess we'll see how it is when we find it. I'm not gonna be lugging around, with the bath and shampoo to bathe these things so that they don't smell so awful. But
No,
Hmm.
that's gross. No, I compassion, I think, can be we don't murder them. And maybe we might have to murder something else. If something's harassing them, maybe we murder that. We'll see.
Well, I think we're gonna have to find them first before I make any decisions along those lines. Why don't we go speak with the Rangers?
Ooh, maybe we have to murder the Rangers.
um, that might be. I don't imagine that God would have told you to do that. From my understanding, God is pretty, big no on murdering.
No, very wrong. Anyway.
You heard it here at GGK, folks. God okay with murder.
Ha! No, very wrong.
I mean, it needs to be correctly done in his name and whatnot. You can't just murder whoever you want. And also, don't murder whoever you want and then say God wanted you to. That's a bunch of garbage. But no, I mean, for the most part, a lot of murdering. It's all through the Bible.
Yeah, but I thought the whole New Testament was God turning over a new leaf and not doing the murdering anymore.
Yeah, I mean, but he also got rid of all the old rules about not murdering. So it's a lot more loosey goosey now, right? It's all about like what is love.
If you don't hurt
And I
me,
mean, if love dictates you got to murder this guy, you got to murder that guy. It's just
Cam, I'm beginning to realize that your inability to lay low is more of an ideological problem. Let's talk about that on the way to the Ranger house.
All right.
You guys finish setting up your cameras and head out to the ranger station. I think that's a good place for us to take our break. We're about halfway through the session tonight. Yeah, so go ahead and grab a drink. We'll be back. Alex, do you want to do the mid thing or?
yeah. So we'll be back real soon. As LB is fond of saying, grab a snack, grab a drink, grab a friend, and we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Bye. Hello, Internet. We're back, and thank you, Raiders. Hopefully, we did not miss you while we were on our break, but we are refreshed and ready to go after our break and go hunt down a stinky cheese man. That's obviously what this monster is. It's just a bunch of little stinky cheese men's.
That probably would have been better. All right, you guys are heading to the ranger station, which the station is the southern station is about a half-hour drive. So you guys are going to yes, I'm eating snacks, Chris, leave me alone. Guys, get in your truck, drive up, pull up front. It's a well-sized station. There's a lot of fire watches in this area, and this is kind of the hub of them. You guys walk in, there is a sign on the front desk that says we'll be back at this time. But as you kind of stand there for a moment, there is a voice from the back that just says, someone up there?
Yes, hello. Afternoon.
You see a figure walk out. It is a gentleman about probably 5'7", a little bit bigger build, very friend shaped. He's got curly hair, and the very typical Ranger's outfit on. And he kind of looks. Oh, buddy. Sorry, Krieg just tried to jump up on the desk and did not make it. He says,
Cat down, cat down.
"Cat down. Come on, fat boy." But he, are you stuck in the corner now? Do you need help? He's got it. Okay. He has a name tag that says Danson, and he looks at the rest of you and just says, I'm Ranger Mutt Danson. How can I help you?
We were hoping to get out into the park, get to one of the cabins. Um, know some folks from the Shire, and saw the woods from from their backyard, but was hoping to be able to get into that neck of the woods.
Oh, why?
Well, just
Documentary.
yep, real gorgeous views. Some we think maybe there's some particular wildlife moving through the area.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Did you
wanna
rent one of the cabins?
We have not yet, but that's what we were hoping you might be able to help us with.
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's 150 a night. I can give you a map on how to get there. We've had some complaints about a smell in that area, though. I don't. If you want, there's more spots up north.
A little smell won't bother us, and we'll be out there anyway, and so not much opportunity for a shower.
Mm-hmm. No, that is fair.
It-
Okay.
Or go ahead.
Well, I'll just have you guys fill out some paperwork. For the and then we'll need a deposit. We do take cards now. Very
I'll-
recently.
I'll run out to the car and grab some money. Is one of the cabins smellier than the others?
Well, I haven't been out there myself in a couple of weeks, but I mean someone goes through every once in a while to make sure that I guess I could check the logs.
Yeah, the smelliest cabin, please. I'll be back with your money.
Okay. How many nights? And he pulls out the paperwork.
Oh, how many nights? What do we want? Like a week?
Oh, looking at Phil since he's the one who said documentary.
Mm-hmm.
3 days.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back with the money. 3 days. All right. You said 150 a
Phil.
night.
Mm-hmm.
Any extra? If we're paying cash, do I need to do any extra deposit or anything?
No, but we always take donations for the national park.
From him, that would be compassionate, perhaps. Yes. All right. I will be back with some money.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk
Phil-
outside.
Phil
Yeah.
waits for him to leave and then puts the company card on the table.
Wow.
Okay. Go ahead. What is Cam actually doing?
I'm going to a mega church in Dallas, and I'm gonna take some money from then.
Okay.
What's compassionate for a park? I'm gonna get $3,000.
Okay. Okay. So Mutt is gonna have you guys fill out some paperwork about contact information, make sure you have a park pass, that sort of thing. And he looks at starts to take the credit card. Cam, you pop back.
I just have a briefcase of money that I give him.
What is, and it pops open. Oh, looks at the three of you.
We feel very strongly about the National Parks Service and would like to thank you for the work that you do.
We've been funded by an eccentric billionaire.
All right, I'm gonna have someone roll to manipulate someone.
For
Your butt is so warm.
That is
the love of God, don't make me do
I
this.
know that is what I'm here for. I've got the charm in the group.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's not like my test roll earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Okay.
a 7.
That's not too bad. So, on a 7 to 9, they'll do it. But if you do something for them right now, show them that you mean it. If you ask too much, they'll tell you what they want. If anything, I feel like we're kind of in the situation where you are giving them money.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can produce your cameras to like show that you're like legit, that sort of thing. And he's just like, wow, this is let me write you a receipt. And he kind of like goes over behind the desk and starts like jotting things down. He's like, "God, if you guys need anything, wait here." And he gives you a walkie-talkie. He's like, "Someone's gonna be here. I know it's been kind of funky recently, so like if you need anything, just holler in. Sometimes the cell service can be kind of wonky out there."
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't want cell towers up in the middle of the woods.
You'll probably be close enough that you'll catch the town, but just in case.
Phillips yoinks that receipt.
Is there anything else I can do for you guys?
I don't suppose you got a spare Jeep. Well, actually, no. I guess we have a truck that would be able to make it out there. No, I think that's everything that we'll need.
What's the wildlife like out here?
Well, be careful of the gators. There's probably some bobcats out there. Squirrels, lots of squirrels. Just gotta be careful. There's snakes, bugs, lots of bugs, especially this time of year. But maybe a bear, but not in the south part, not usually.
Is there any place near this cabin we're at where a group of animals might make a den of some kind?
Well, there's not really any mountains up north, so I mean, if they like living in a swamp, a lot of marsh down there, or in a tree, but not a den.
Okay.
You guys want some cheese?
Oh, I love me some cheese. It has become a cracker. Suck on that, miracle, God.
Oh no.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Right, and yeah, I mean, I guess we bring the keys to the cabin back here when we're done.
Yes, please. We don't have really a checkout time. We say 11, but we're not going to come down there every day, so. And make sure you guys don't make a mess, please.
If we run into any issues, how do we get a hold of you?
Points to the walkie-talkie.
I'll wave it.
Thank you.
Anyways.
And you said it'll be probably someone else here tonight. You're not here all the time.
Well, I'm close all the time. I live on the reservation, but I live in the forest. They have housing for us.
Where's that on the map?
Kind of looks at you like the bunkers are kind of over this way.
All right, yes, that is good to know. Given that we are going to be documentating some, there is a chance that we will be going off trails, so it would be good for us to know where various things are, and where we might find the rangers closest to where we're going off trail.
Oh yeah, if you need like any interview information, I got you. I look good on camera. I mean, I've been told that I look good on camera.
You are a mighty handsome fella. Gives him an exaggerated wink.
You kind of just like a kid, like, oh shucks, thanks.
All right, Mutt. I think that is about all we need from you, but we will be sure to let you know if we need anything else.
Of course. Have a good one. Drive safe.
Head on
Guys,
out to the
drive down
car.
to the cabin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is
Should
there
we
Alright.
swing by their housing first?
Why would we need to go by the ranger's house?
In case I need to appear there for some reason.
You only go places you've been to before?
Yes.
Ah. Well, then, yeah, we might want to swing by there just in case.
How many places have you been?
Um, I've been in a lot of places in Europe, and Ethiopia. A lot of stuff in Ethiopia. And I mean, Central America, Midwest, that kind of stuff, where there's churches. Ooh, and the Crusades. I was all over the place there. But yeah, that's
Right. So, can you just show up at any church, or how did you first get to Mezos? Bozo.
I appeared in the church.
So if there's a church, you can go there even if you haven't been there before.
I've been to most churches. If I haven't been to a church, I can't go to that church. But
Ah.
Spawning point appears to be on holy ground.
They just like send the angels on a tour of the churches every once in a while, or
I mean, there's always work to be done in God's name.
right? Sure. Oh, I guess it makes enough sense.
Agent Phillips, your map has been updated. With all of the churches in the area.
Yep. Somewhere in a dark agency with like bright screens and like holographic lights, there's a guy with sunglasses on going, "My God."
He's got free reign of the place.
The Bible Belt just lights up.
Yeah, yeah. So, can you do get a question, Agent Phillips, of like, is there anything that holds him in place?
As in,
They want to know if anything can stop him from blinking out of existence.
oh, that's a good question. How do you casually bring that up in conversation? Let me look at my stats. Charm -1.
Would it
Is
be
there anything
too-
that can prevent you from teleporting?
I mean, I'm trying to think, would it be too meta for Eddie to just ask that? Because it's just like, you can teleport places you've been. Like, what would stop you from teleporting somewhere that you've been? Just trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
Would-
Phillips goes to ask that question, and then Eddie's already doing it, and he's just
Yep.
like,
What would stop me?
Yeah, I mean, is there anything that would keep you from, like, say, these stink monsters are all over us and you need to go get help, but suddenly you can't. What happened?
Suddenly I can't?
I guess it sounds like that's never happened before.
I mean, I move with the authority of God. You would have to stop God. So, I don't think so.
Well, that's both good to hear and also slightly horrifying.
I could be wrong. No one's done it. And I imagine if they have, they haven't lived to tell anyone about it. So,
undetermined.
I mean, I'm not the only angel.
Huh?
There's a few others that aren't quite as nice as me that also wouldn't want people to know information like that.
Yeah, I guess probably some people out there who would be opposed to you going about your work.
Probably.
Well, I imagine there's some mean sons of bitches, but if we're talking about a god that's okay with murder, I imagine some of the angels are also some pretty mean sons of bitches themselves, right?
I mean, we do whatever God commands. We weren't made like people to have free will, so, well, sort of. Some of them clearly do. I don't quite understand how some of these have rebelled as they have, but mysterious ways and all that.
How accurate is the literature on that?
On what, your human literature on Lucifer's fall from grace?
Yeah, that one.
Not very. Basically, assume if humans are saying things, they're probably mostly wrong.
You interested in starting a book club?
What, to read things?
Does do you not like reading?
What would be the point?
For fun?
If you don't read, then how do you know how accurate the literature is?
I mean, I go to a lot of churches. There's usually someone in there blabbing on about it.
So you haven't actually read the literature.
I mean, I've lived it. What would be the point of...
Curiosity?
You want me to read the Bible with me?
No, of course not. I want you to read Paradise Lost.
You know what? I've been told to demonstrate compassion for the time being. Maybe over the next 3 days, if there are books, I could read them.
Oh, that wasn't so hard. Phillips is going to take the lead to the car and just sort of like pontificate to Eddie. Do you think angels get cabin fever?
Well, I guess we're about to find out, but I also don't imagine we could stop him from just going outside and stretching his wings. Do you have wings? I guess, did we see Cam with wings at any point when he was like avenging Angel stopping the dinosaur?
I think so. The thing that lets me teleport is called angel wings. I think that when I teleport, the wings appear and like flap, and then I've disappeared. But then that's it.
Oh, I kind of like the idea that he isn't necessarily teleporting. He's just flying so fast.
I envision it as like I'm flying in like multi-dimensional space, and I'm just like shortcut.
That's incredible. Does your ability ever allow you to take anybody else with you?
Yeah.
In
I
your
have to make a
teleport?
roll if I take other
Yeah, I have to
people.
roll for it.
So, yeah, if it's just him,
Are we allowed
You
to do
can do
stars
it.
and wishes right now?
but yeah, if he tries to take someone else, there's chances of failure and things of like, oh, you end up in different places from each other.
I love that.
Yeah. Which is kind of silly because you can teleport to the person. Like you can teleport to a person you know. So like you do it, oh shit, where'd they go? And then immediately go get them sort of thing.
I guess if I don't know the person well that I'm teleporting.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean,
That would be fun.
in the Thursday game,
you
RJ
just-
has certainly used that move to teleport enemies around.
Uh-huh.
You just lose somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow
Where
he
are they?
hasn't yet.
All right. So you guys are gonna
Yeah.
drive by the barracks and then go to the cabin. Okay, sounds good. You guys get to this cabin. It is a literal cabin in the woods. Very Sam Raimi. And there's like 2 bedrooms. It's fairly modern. It looks inside you. I mean, I guess modern in the sense that there's like electricity, there's indoor plumbing and that sort of stuff. There is a septic tank out back sort of thing, but for the most part, there's running water. You don't have to worry about that sort of stuff, but it does look like someone's cabin in the woods sort of thing. So what do you guys want to do?
Oh, well, I guess first, how stinky is it here, or is it not yet? Because the sun's still out.
The sun is not out, or the sun is going down at this point, but it's not. It's. I mean, you can definitely smell the swamp from here, but it's not abrasive in any way. What's the
Well-
plan?
All right. So wait a little bit, see if it smells here. If not, maybe we should set up some cameras here, and then we can teleport between the places and wait for a smell to happen.
Right, sure.
That sounds efficient.
You sure you can teleport people? Like,
Yes,
we're not gonna
I mean,
melt to goo
I'll-
or something?
I mean, I've never seen anyone turn to goo.
How many times have you teleported people?
A bunch, but I don't always see where they land. So I mean, I don't know.
How often is not always?
How? I mean, as a percentage,
A ballpark. A
Man,
guesstimate.
a lot of times. A lot of times when I teleport people, I don't see where they land. But most of the time, I find them afterwards. Right, and they're not goo.
I guess as long as we don't turn into goo, right, Phil?
There's a lot of ways for one to turn into goo. Getting lost via teleportation is one of them. Cam, maybe you should do the more efficient searching on your own, and Eddie and I can just start. Just had popcorn thieved from me.
I'm sorry, I trained them poorly. I
How
apologize.
dare you?
All of my cats are popcorn thieves. I'm the worst.
Consider that a tribute. Yeah. Eddie, why don't
Alright.
you and I case the perimeter? I mean, take a stroll around the cabin.
Sure, yeah.
And I'll just go with you and pop over into that guy's backyard every few minutes and see if it smells. 10 minutes apart. Get a good whiff, come back.
God, legitimately out of character. I was like trying to like come up with like a pitch for like some sort of like Bluetooth Wi-Fi camera so that we could get a hold of the footage, and I completely forgot that we literally just have a Wi-Fi angel that we can bamf over. Obviously,
I mean,
we
but-
do that. We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
All right, Operation Stakeout is a go. You guys start your perimeter search. There's a nice little backyard here that does just kind of go into the woods. It doesn't take you, you don't go far until you find the forest turning into a swamp. As you get deeper in, it is muggy. It is a little, I was gonna say a little warm. It's very warm. It's definitely still in the 80s, and it's getting close to sundown. You kind of get to a spot where your boots start sinking in. The backyard doesn't smell at this point. Although I would suggest keeping towards the out of eyesight of the homes themselves, as to not startle the people within, or make them think that you are the stalker or the being. And yeah, so you guys, do you have any plans as to like after so much time you're gonna do something else, or are you just waiting for the scent?
I was told to just like go into the woods and follow my nose, right? That was
Yeah.
okay. So I mean, after a while, we would go in the woods and smell around.
All
I
right.
think that like Phillips and Eddie do like a quick like walk around the cabin. And then at that point, like, yeah, just to make sure that like it's safe.
Mhm.
and then go inside the cabin and start setting up, like
Mhm.
put up some cameras, like unpack a little bit, settle into the cabin. And then Phillips is going to get out a map and start like, doing like some triangulation type stuff.
Mhm.
And if Cam ever comes back, he's getting two things. He's getting coordinates, and he's getting an iPod with Paradise Lost as an audiobook.
All right.
You ever hear of multitasking?
It just isn't. I was told there would be books, and all
This
right.
is a book.
So I'm listening to a book.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
I thought this would be easier for you.
What is this book about?
Oh, it's a literary interpretation of the Fall of Lucifer.
I mean, is it supposed to be a biblical thing, or is this like a humans
More
doing
or
weird
less.
symbolism?
There's some debatable terminology surrounding pandemonium. Most of the demons, in fact, are referred to as much of the Egyptian pantheon. And I have a few questions about that. But no, just, you know what? You should go into it blind and tell me what you think.
Okay. How long does this take to listen to?
Let me,
It's
I can look
probably
it
a
up.
while.
Probably at least 10 hours.
Is Paradise Lost a long read?
Lord of the Rings is 10 hours. One book.
Paradise Lost audiobook.
Length.
Um,
9
also-
hours.
Yeah,
Hey, yo!
9 to 10 hours on YouTube. So
How fast can you run?
Me? I mean,
Yes.
an okay amount of fast.
He does some quick math, and then he's going to he's gonna see how fast the audiobook can play. And then he just sets it to the highest setting and then hands it back to Cam.
Right. Yeah, and so what am I doing? I'm going into the woods. I
Trying
got
to
very
follow your
sidetracked
nose.
on. Okay, so you guys are staying here. I'm gonna go check over the neighborhood first, see if it smells over there, and then I'm gonna
Mhm.
start walking into the woods. And I will just come back here every few minutes to make sure everything's fine. Also, just
Okey-dokey.
scream if things get bad, Eddie. Just give me a good scream. I'll show up to you.
sure. I can scream when called upon. It'll be a manly
right.
scream, but it'll be a scream.
I mean, whatever works. Just however your loudest scream sounds.
All right. Though I probably shouldn't practice so that you don't come running, boy who
I
cried
mean,
wolf
if you
and all
want to
that.
practice now, that's fine.
Kind of looks at Phil to see how he's taking this whole you should scream, you should practice screaming.
What do you want me to do
But
if I'm in danger?
oh, do what you want. Yeah, I'll come for you too. Sure.
I just wanted to see what you'd say. I'll be fine.
You know what? Yeah. Go ahead and scream. Compassion shouldn't end at listening to your terrible books. So.
Hmm.
Oh my God. I am looking forward to being done with this one. All right.
Okay. All right. You guys start your night watch, and I'm gonna say probably about the sun's probably setting at 7:30. And by about 8 o'clock, you start to get a whiff of something. It's very accurate towards what the gentleman Jacob described. It is a little rancid from where you guys are at the cabin. It is more so, it's stronger where Cam is at the houses. But the scent does start to appear. Would be a good word, I guess.
All right.
Oh, Phil, was that you?
What's that?
Silent but deadly.
I don't flatulate.
At all? That sounds like something you should see a doctor about.
Are you detecting something?
I think I'm getting a whiff of it. Oh, this may be not the best idea, but heads over to the door, or no, goes to a window to open it and like get the air actually in. I assume opening the window does bring the stench in. You're muted, LB.
It is a little bit stronger as you go to the window, and kind of as you and at the same time, Cam, where you are, where it was a low sort of more subtle scent, it very quickly just gets over this. It's almost like a mist of scent sort of falling on you, as it just not moving at all. It just kind of washes over you. And Eddie, it is not as bad here, not that you would know, but it is, fairly smelly, but it does get a little bit more intense as you kind of stand there sniffing it.
Ugh. Yeah, I think that's the smell, all right.
I'm going to go ahead and appear next to Eddie.
Jesus.
It smells real bad over at that guy's house. Like, I don't know the smell. Definitely worse than here.
Hmm.
Do you want me to try and teleport you over? Do we want to just both follow the smell and I'll just periodically check in on you?
We probably don't have time. Go ahead and take Eddie. I'll meet you there.
What?
Oh, right. Phil, you sure you don't want to get in on this? But I imagine it's already being swept away by Cam.
So I can take. There's no difference between taking one or two people.
Is there?
No.
No.
Not mechanically.
Yeah.
You can't just take both of us.
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to take you both.
Right.
All right.
All right, go ahead and make your roll. It's roll plus
Weird.
roll plus weird, please.
All right. Ooh, a
All
9.
right. Okay. On a 7 to 9, you don't quite manage it. Either you are all separated or you all appear in the wrong place. Well, I'm gonna just say that y'all appear in different places. So you as you try to blink both of them away, you guys who are being taken, you sort of see what's the phrase, you smell in color for a second as you're pulled through this dimension, and you find yourselves rolling in the mud. You fall over and sort of catch yourselves not on your feet. And this smell is just appalling. It is so intense. Where you both are, though not near each other. And Cam, you arrive exactly where you're supposed to be. Ready to yeah, ready to take on the to start this adventure.
All right. I'm going to real quick teleport to Eddie and make sure he's fine.
Oh. Damn it, Cam, you told us that you might not end up with people when you teleported, but did it really have to be the first try? You couldn't have gotten it right at least once first.
I said a lot of times it doesn't work.
Are you sure the god's really the almighty? As he's like brushing dirt off himself and stuff.
I mean, you guys aren't made to travel through other dimensions like that. Your bodies get, folded in weird ways, and sometimes I lose my grip. It just happens.
Oh. It's like that was weird, and I don't want to do it again, but I imagine it's gonna happen more often. So
Gonna kind of smell. Like, I think you should be. I think we're probably relatively close to each other. So I'm gonna go back where I was, and we'll all just keep kind of, we'll triangulate in. Remember, scream if you're in trouble. Then I will show up because I don't have a phone.
all right, well, I guess it is good that Phil has the walkie-talkie.
Oh, Phil! I should go check on Phil, and I'll check on Phil.
Phil's scrambling through the underbrush trying to find his sunglasses, and he's just barely getting them on as David appears. David, Cam. No.
Hi,
I
you're
read
okay?
the first name. So much for compassion.
I was checking on you. All right, we're gonna just. Yeah, smell. It smells bad here too. So I'm going back to where I was, and we're all just going to triangulate in. Again, scream if you need help. Yeah. Then I just disappear.
He just stands there for a second, hefts his duffel bag, and says, "I don't scream." And he's gonna start walking towards the smell.
You have a big update that you are, getting to your people from from what you just experienced.
Yeah, well, and like I imagine I have like a tracker of some sort on me that just like blipped. And so like there's a lot of scrambling back at the base.
Yeah. What happened? They know what happened. All right. You guys start to triangulate your way towards the center of this smell. As you guys make your way through this forest, this bayou, I would like those of you, Danae, check your DMs for a second. Can Cam and Eddie make me a act under pressure roll, please?
Is a cool roll.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 0 in, so this is gonna go great.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh.
Well, that's experience for both of us.
Awesome. Danae, you can roll as well. So David rolled a 3. Alex rolled a 6, both failures.
David got snake eyes.
Boy.
What are we rolling again?
Cool.
Act under pressure, so a cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's supposed to be the thing I'm good at.
Yeah, let's see.
13.
Oh, you are good at it.
All right. Okay, so if you succeed, you do what you set out to. On a miss, things go to hell. What is going on in this situation is this smell is so intense, and the sort of heat from the swamp, the scent. You guys are going to suffer a penalty of 1 forward while you are in this scent. And if you can, you retch and vomit.
So Eddie probably does that like just a few minutes after walking closer to the stench.
Probably wishing I could vomit.
That seems right.
I don't know if we
All
want to
right.
establish this as the canon, but I had this idea that Cam just like very briefly goes like full biblical angel mode. It's just like the form is freaking out before re-solidifying
Oh yeah, like that's a
into
glitch.
human.
A glitch.
Like biblically accurate. Too many
Yeah.
eyes, too many wings.
Yeah. Then the hand
Just-
monster for no reason.
Flaming sword out, just hoping it burns away the stink. Just like waving it in front of me.
All right. As you guys move in towards this scent, Eddie, you sense movement in front of you. You hear sort of crackling in the branches as you see a figure, human shaped, maybe a bit lumpy, but sort of in that hunched over, sneaking position as they move through this area.
Okay, but it's just like moving past me. It's not like stopping to look at me.
It has not seen you yet.
Okay. Going to stop moving myself so that I don't snap any twigs or anything as I proceed. Going to try and carefully pull out the phone and get a picture of it.
Okay.
I guess probably actually has like, given what we do for our grift, has like a either a shirt pocket or like something that he can mount his smartphone to and basically turn it
Sure,
into a body
yeah.
cam.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and roll and act under pressure for me to see how you do this silently.
Not good. That's another 6.
Oh, boy. You forgot your flash was on.
Yeah.
And as you turn on your light, you see the head turn, and you hear a click and feel a net fall over you. And your body sort of falls back as this net sort of wraps you up in the brush in this nasty wet soil.
Oh boy. He's not gonna scream yet, but is gonna try and start like breaking out of the net, like trying to struggle. Or is it just like is it hoisted into the air net, or just like I'm
No, it seems you saw it coming from in front of you from this person, so perhaps a net gun. But as you start to wiggle your way out, you hear the footsteps coming towards you in this like sloshy wetness, and this gentleman appears in front of you, and he sort of like looks down. He's like covered in kind of like this mud and muck, and he looks down at you, and it's just like, oh, what the hell? What are you doing out here?
What the hell are you doing shooting people with nets?
I thought you were the swamp thing.
Do I look like a swamp thing to you?
Oh, you're covered in enough mud. Starts to pull off the
I
net.
wasn't before you hit me with the net.
Well, what are you doing out in the middle of the woods in the first place? Don't you know there are creatures out here that are gonna eat you?
There are gators and stuff, but I know better than stay away from gators.
No. There are creatures out here. Bigfoot is out here. And he is gonna eat you if he finds you.
think Eddie is a little. I mean, he's come across people who've like come to town before looking for Bigfoot, but never in
Mhm.
like this situation. I've got some anti Bigfoot spray on me. Well, not on
Are
me,
you
on me.
insane? There is no such thing as anti-Bigfoot spray.
Yeah, it's Canadian. They just developed it. It's making its way south now.
Who are you?
Well, right now I'm all trussed up like a turkey. But and like continues to struggle against the net.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
I am a documentarian here to find some wildlife of my own and get some photos.
In the middle of the woods, in the middle of the night, you're out here. Are you part of the government?
Hell no.
I knew they would come to find me sometime. I knew I was close. This just proves it,
Proves what?
that I'm on the right path. And I will find this Bigfoot. You can't stop me. And you see him just kind of like run off into the woods.
Is he leaving me in the net?
Yes.
Oh, for the love. Ah! And that's like a half-hearted scream.
Do I hear it?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll just appear.
He's in a net.
Why'd you do this?
I did not do this. There's another fool running around here hunting for Bigfoot, and he thought I was a swamp thing.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take the flaming sword and cut him loose from the net.
Definitely like flinching away from the flaming sword.
Okay. So, do we know if he came here with people?
Seemed like it was.
Was he the one who smelled?
I don't think so. Didn't
Alright.
he got right up on me and it didn't get any worse. But also I didn't get a chance to ask him if he smelled the smell. Seemed to be either fine or just completely unaffected by it.
Okay. I mean, so I'm thinking he's hunting whatever's doing this. Maybe our compassion would be to stop him from doing that.
He's definitely got a screw loose or two. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll just take him to Italy or something. He'll be fine. He can't hunt anyone else. It's lovely this time of year.
yeah, that stranding a man who probably doesn't speak Italian in Italy, maybe not the most compassionate thing to do.
England?
Sure. Uh, maybe have you been to U.S. Embassy in England?
No. Why would I go there?
Fair point. Um,
It'll be a church. There's plenty of them.
either way, yeah, he's there. Leaving him to run around is probably not going to end well for anyone. So he may
You know what?
be relatively harmless aside from. I mean, how many more
Well-
net guns can he have?
I don't know. I don't know how net guns work. Anyways, so we'll leave that in the back pocket, I think, because I don't know if that's the compassionate thing to do. But if we have to stop him from hurting these things, just send him to England.
Sure. Then yes, yeah. If he's gonna kill a critter that is not, charging him down to eat him, then yes, you can send him to England.
Or maybe they're dangerous and I have to save him from the creatures because he's an idiot and he's going to get himself killed.
Might be that one.
Oh god. All right. Okay. Should we get Phil?
Yeah, we should probably try and meet up with him.
Do you want me to try and take you there, or should I go to Phil and try and bring him here? Let's bring Phil here. The dude we're after is just ran from here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna appear in front of Phil. We found a weirdo with a net gun. We might have to take him to England, and I'm gonna reach out to grab you.
All right.
Oh,
make
no.
a roll. Yeah, I know, baby girl. Let's see if it works this time.
Submit. Oh, I have -1 forward, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
I did
Failure again. Straight up failure.
All right.
Good.
Mark your experience.
All right.
forgot to apply
Uh,
my -1 before, but it would have failed anyway.
Yeah. Phil, you find yourself next to Eddie, who's standing there covered in mud and a net.
Mm-hmm.
Cam,
Mhm.
you find yourself knee deep in some mucky water. The scent that you have been tracking is like, you know, when you're listening to loud music and you have to turn it down because it's distracting to concentrate on something else? It's like that, but with the smell. It is hard to concentrate on anything because this scent is so intense. And as you look up to see sort of where you've found yourself, you see movement ahead of you, a couple different lumps moving through this water.
Stand up.
You are standing.
Oh,
You are just
so that's just how
knee-deep
deep
in
it
water.
is.
Yeah.
All right. Bring out the flaming sword to see if I can illuminate whatever is making.
Yes, you bring up your sword, and in front of you you see three figures hunched over. It looks like they're almost like they're covered in like a wet sort of fabric or moss or like leafy something. And as you lift up the sword towards them, they turn their heads, and you just see their eyes reflecting the light from the sword looking at you.
Are you some kind of friendly swamp monsters?
They are frozen in place.
I have been instructed to show compassion to creatures. Do you understand me?
One of the figures is smaller than the other two, and you see one of the larger ones pushing it sort of behind itself away from you. And the little one begins to sink down into the water, and then one of the other ones begins to sink down into the water, and the third one is standing there sort of still looking at you, trying to determine what's going on. It doesn't understand you, or it cannot speak to you, or
I'm gonna make the sword disappear.
Mhm.
All right, and kind of slowly approach and like hold out a hand.
As you approach, the figure sinks into the water, and the smell slowly dissipates as it does.
All right, I'll teleport back to Eddie.
Phillips is busy extricating him from the net and folding it up because this could be useful later.
Well, he did
Okay.
cut it loose. It's just, so part of it was still on. Don't know how much of it would still be useful, but still certainly welcome to try.
I cast mending. Wrong game.
You use magic. That's a roll.
I don't think I have magic.
Everyone can do magic. It just depends on how you want to do it. So, like, if maybe you know how to use crystals, or you have a special word, you have a wand, a magic amulet, something like that. What are you trying to do? Sorry.
Special agency science bullshit.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh.
What magic are you trying to do?
Just fix the net.
Yes, you could do that, or you could go buy a new one.
That is also a thing that I could do.
Mhm.
All right.
Either way, I mean, do what you want, but this is an area where people like to fish and hunt. It would
Yeah,
not be
yeah,
hard to. You probably could have brought one if you wanted to.
I'm not going to get too hung up on it.
Okay.
All right.
Because there's a
Seeing
big hole
whatever
in
they're-
it. You can't catch anything in that net. I'm sorry. Go on.
Seeing whatever they're doing, I'm just like, all right. So I found the weird monsters. They're lumpy swamp things. They seem to be wearing some kind of gross fabric, and they're like a family. There's like two of them that were adults and like a little one. And they didn't attack me. They just were afraid of me and like kind of slowly sunk into the swamp. But I think they might be nice. We have no information on them hurting anyone, right?
So
No.
you're saying it appeared to be a family group?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I definitely think we should take this guy to England. Right? Seems like a straightforward thing to do. I mean, and if we're wrong, we can get him later. You know.
It's entirely possible that this man has been harassing these creatures and forcing them out of their habitat.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Well, as
Why-
easy as
Why
a-
does he have to go to England again?
Because I have to show compassion, and God thought that it was a thing where it, it would be weird for me to do it normally, so they pointed it out. So I'm thinking, save the swamp guys, and he's hunting them.
Am I to presume that you showing compassion means that the alternative would be killing this man?
I mean, probably I would have just killed the monsters.
All right. Sorry, still trying to nail down your motivations.
They're monsters. So
I mean,
No, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, but by whose definition is a monster made? Like,
God defines who's a monster.
no, I guess that kind of takes the wind out of my sails of the whole thing I was gonna do. Of like, are humans not monsters themselves in some cases?
He made you in his image. These are weird, lumpy, gross things.
Are we not all just weird, lumpy, gross things?
Okay, but then if
I mean,
God
you
made every
you
other
view yourself how
creature,
you want.
does that mean sometimes God was just like an otter or a butterfly or?
No, he didn't make everything.
Or right, I guess not. Not everything was made in his image, just humans.
Well, I mean, he made animals and stuff, and they're fine. They're not monsters. But no, he didn't make everything. Right? There's the cephalum. He didn't make any of those. Also, there's a bunch of other gods. They did a bunch of weird shit. So
Right, I guess if one god is real, why not just all of them be real? But then, like,
Mhm.
whose mythology creation?
who did you think?
Like,
Who did you think in the
wins?
Bible when it tells you not to worship other gods? God was talking about.
Who do you think they were talking about?
just like bullshit conners like me who styled themselves as gods.
No,
I'm
you
just-
idiot.
Yeah, just a word of advice. It's not always about compassion. Sometimes sparing a creature is more about learning more about it.
Why? I could just ask God.
God didn't seem inclined to tell you about the creature this time.
And then I wouldn't need to know it.
Let's go find
Which-
that hunter. This is not the time or place for philosophical conversations.
Oh god. This is a very distractible group. Not the players, the characters.
Mhm.
We
That's
just
why I
talked for
love you
10
guys.
minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm down.
Just arguing about
fine.
theology. Let's split up, gang.
This guy's kind of trigger happy.
With a non-lethal method. I'm not too concerned.
Okay.
I mean, did I see other? So I know the picture you put up has like a hunting rifle of some kind, but what else did I notice, if anything, on him?
Did you have a source of light?
I mean, my phone was presumably still.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
your flash. But it was really hard to tell in the moment. Looked like he was wearing like hunting gear, and this is the woods, so he probably has some sort of rifle, to just for protection, if anything.
So if he's in hunting gear and he didn't have a reflective vest on,
Oh, for sure, no.
I think upon thinking about that, should we radio Mutt and tell him there's a nut job out here hunting without reflective gear on?
Maybe.
I mean-
Oh, you know what? That dumb cop wanted us to talk to them too.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, yeah, I'm pissed that he put me in a net and might be after these critters, but also, like, there are people whose job it is to do this. Like, we're not getting paid to do this.
What if I follow after him yelling that he should come talk to me, and you guys, go on either side and see what you see, and maybe you can radio in to park ranger guy.
Yeah, I guess.
And your intention is to use this method to flesh out the creatures?
I'm the guy. I don't know. The creatures live under the swamp. I mean, if you want to dive around for them, be my guest. I'm pretty sure we just got to get rid of this guy.
It's worth
mean-
trying.
So we could probably send him to jail, right? Is he breaking laws right now?
Probably. I mean, at the very least, assault on me.
Yeah, that's true. Did you get it on tape?
I'm gonna pull out that
Probably.
walkie-talkie.
And, like, pulls the phone out and, like, comes back through.
Would it be more compassionate to take this guy somewhere else where he won't be arrested? Or would it be more compassionate to arrest him? Anyways, we'll figure these things out. He's
I
getting
mean,
away.
attacking somebody with a net is still assault?
I don't know. I'm going to yell at
Questions?
him. See
I mean,
if we can
not
get him
with
to
a
shoot
deadly
at me.
weapon. And, like,
With a gun?
Eddie probably starts getting, like, real technical on, like, what the different charges could be.
Oh yeah, no, Eddie would probably know exactly what those charges could be.
Hmm.
Okay, how about this? Phillips is gonna get out that walkie-talkie and try and get a hold of Ranger Danson.
Sure. Yeah, it's I mean, it's not too late. It's not past 10 or anything like that. So you
He's
call
gonna
up. Right.
he's gonna tell him that Eddie just got caught in a net by a strange person yelling about Sasquatch.
Oh God, what did he look like?
Holds it out to Eddie.
Yeah, the rough description.
Oh my God, that's Simon. He's kind of a local nut. Really believes that Sasquatch is real, and
Mhm.
other like the jackalope he's been on. He comes in here all the time. I didn't know he was out in the woods at night though.
Is he after the jackalope?
I think anything, but right now he's really hooked on Bigfoot, especially with all the drum up, influence that have been going on around town.
I mean, I have been hearing about some Bigfoot sightings around lately.
Exactly, which has really brought him out. He knows he's not supposed to be out there.
He's not supposed to be out there? Legally?
No. I mean, it's the park closes at a certain time, and if you're not staying within a certain distance of
Also, it's this out of character. It's a state park. You're definitely not allowed to hunt without like
for sure.
special permission
Yeah,
of some
he is,
kind.
he is technically hunting, isn't he? All right. Thank you, Danson. I just wanted to confirm that.
Did you see where he parked his car?
No, we're away from where cars might be.
All right. Well, I'll warn the exit gates, but if he's found another way in, then he's gonna have a different problem.
Do you know where he lives?
I don't know if he lives anywhere.
Well,
We can be pretty persuasive.
Now, just
We'll see.
He's not dangerous. He's harmless. He's just really, really obsessed.
Oh, don't worry. We'll treat him with compassion. He's gonna put the walkie-talkie away.
Okie dokie from your pocket.
That's all I needed to hear. Where did you want to send him?
I was going to send him to England.
England. Can you give me an exact location?
I mean, I haven't made up my mind yet. I don't know where the most compassionate place to send an American in England is. I guess would be London, but I don't know.
I have not been across the pond myself, so.
you
let me
can come
think
with
on
me.
it for a moment. I'm going to touch my ear and try and think of the most compassionate church in England to send this fella to.
The Church of Jesus Christ. I don't know.
Wow, good one.
Thanks. I don't know, man. Hold on. Churches in England. I prepped a lot. Not that much, guys.
What? You mean you didn't expect us to want to yeet a guy to England?
Yeah, so weird. Yeah, the St. Dunstan All Saints Church.
All right.
Oh,
I'm not writing that down.
They are pretty compassionate. So.
And there is a.
And he's white,
robust...
so that helps.
And there's a robust enough tourist industry out there that he will probably be able to find an embassy.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, yell at him. I know about Bigfoot. I know why there's all the Bigfoot sightings. I'm here on behalf of a higher power.
Okay.
He'll come talk to me.
He was very wary of the government, so you might not want to say the higher power part. He'll just
maybe
think you're from the
being,
government and out
maybe
to get
if I'm being upfront about it, it'll intrigue him enough that he would have to investigate.
What's your charm again?
Very bad.
Well, go ahead. Okay, so do you want to try and track this guy?
Yeah, I mean, we want to figure out where he's going.
I could probably track him down.
Okay.
What kind of role would that be?
Because if you just want to yell at him, that's gonna be manipulate someone. If you're gonna try to, you're gonna investigate a mystery.
Investigate a mystery. Okay.
That's a plus sharp.
How sharp am I? Not terrible. Yeah, okay. I'll sharp it up. I'll sharpen. Try and track this guy down.
Ooh.
How's an
All right.
11?
All right, where did it go? You guys are able to make your way through the woods fairly adequately with Agent Phillips leading the way. It does get a little bit swampier. It gets a little wetter. Your socks are definitely soaked at this point. And yeah, you kind of pick up the trail, and if you're trying,
he touches his
stop.
sunglasses and he can see like the footprints through the water.
Yeah. The disturbance of the muck.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can lay eyes on him. He's about 30 feet away. he doesn't know that you're there, but he is he's got the the night vision goggles on. And I think he's got something in his hands, like something in each hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to see from here.
All right. Phillips is gonna like just sort of like put out a hand in like a very practiced like like
SWAT
mission
signals.
sort of, yeah. And then like sort of realize that he like needs to be like keeping up an act for Eddie. And then he's just gonna kind of look at him and give him a thumbs up. He's like, there he is.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you want to talk to him first?
Cam, did you want to talk to him? What exactly are we doing here? Like,
I don't know if it's the best idea for Cam to talk to him.
I just need to touch him, and we could take it to England.
maybe I should try to talk to him one last time.
All right. Why don't you go talk to him? You get ready to send him to England, and I'll wait here.
What if you sneak around behind? Because I can teleport to either one of you. So if either of you get close enough to where if I teleport to you, I can touch him.
All right. Not a bad idea. I'll be ready to back you up in case things get violent.
I'm gonna really quick teleport back where I saw the swamp things and make sure they're okay. And then I'm gonna come right back.
Teleport to Swamp Thing.
Well, I don't know
yeah.
them, so I had to go where I was.
I don't
Yeah.
know how thoroughly do you have to know a Swamp Thing to be able to teleport?
Well, we have
to
been
it?
talking about the Bible a lot. No, that
How
would
well do you know anybody?
mean things for being able to teleport to us.
I have to know them well. To a person I know well, they might not be people either. So
That's true. That's true.
Hmm.
yeah, I'll
Hmm.
just go to the swamp, look around for a second, be right back. Like literally 10 seconds.
They are an adorable little family, though.
Yeah, you pop over, you don't see anything. It's not like the smell has gone away for now. It's still there. It was very strong, so it's taking a while, but it is slowly dissipating. And you don't see anything.
I am going to try and approach carefully.
Mhm.
I think actually because this will be a better roll for me, I am going to attempt to use magic to help with
Okie
this.
dokie.
All
right.
And so Eddie like digs into a pocket and pulls out like some charms and rocks and stuff, and like, he's not entirely sure it'll work, but
Mhm.
somewhere in there is something that is legitimate. He doesn't necessarily know what it is, but it will allow him to, if this goes well, approach more stealthily.
Okay. So this is you trying to trap someone or do a thing beyond human limitations?
Yeah, I think more do a thing beyond human limitations, which is just move completely silently.
Okay. Go ahead and make your weird roll. -1 forward.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
failure.
Jeez Louise.
I'm gonna level up by the end of this session, probably.
You do have luck if you want to use it.
Let's see. On a mist, you lose control of the magic. This never ends well. Yeah, I'm fine with it going poorly. I'm one of those who
Alright.
hoards the luck points and then has them
yeah.
all by the end.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. So on a miss, you lose control of magic. This never ends well. All right. What are you physically doing? Just tell me what your casting magic looks like.
Yeah, so is like pulling out some rocks that are probably like on strings and tied together and stuff, and like thumbing over them and muttering under his breath some oh, it's probably like poorly pronounced Latin or
Mhm.
Gaelic or something, based on whatever uh, the eclectic seller told
Uh-huh.
him.
So right. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Okay. So you see Eddie starts to, and as you come back, Cam, you see Eddie start to cast this magic. And as he does, he starts to move forward. And his footsteps are silent. He looks really stealthy. In fact, he looks almost see-through. And then he looks invisible. And Eddie, you see the world kind of fade around you, and it gets kind of gray, and then all like the light kind of comes up somehow. You have entered into the ethereal plane. You are no longer on this plane of existence, and you are going to be that way for about an hour.
Well, shit.
You can see shadows of your friends, but you cannot interact with them.
Can I teleport to Eddie?
You cannot.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of, as I fail at doing that, I'm gonna be like, I assume he's fine. I think I would have another mission otherwise. So
Just like as soon as Eddie beeps it, like boom, new angel comes with your new orders.
right, how's Phil doing on sneaking around?
It's a
Those are
good
great.
question. Is there a sneaking check? Do I gotta do some sneaking?
No, it would be
I was assuming it
Act
was
under
act under
pressure.
pressure, which for me
Yeah.
is a
Under
0.
pressure. You mean a cool roll?
Yeah.
The
So
thing-
cool.
The thing that I'm good at. Dun dun dun.
Wait, Alex, have you rolled
Da-da-da.
anything good?
I got a mixed success at one point.
Okay.
I got a
I got a-
7 for
I got a
manipulate
9.
someone.
Okay. The
Which is
keeper
a-
mixed success.
Mixed success.
On a 7 to 9, the keeper is going to give you a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. So you're trying to sneak up to him. Do you have something?
No. I
Okay.
just I read on a miss things go to hell, and I thought it said you go to hell, and I was all like, that's very specific.
All right, you're sneaking over. There's a lot of brush. There's a lot of nonsense. You're working your way through it. You can either continue on silently and get him, but he's going to notice you before you like pounce.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can keep to the outside. Like the path is sort of a lot more brambly and such closer to him. So you're going to have to make noise to actually get him. But otherwise, you can stay around him, just not get to him.
All right. I think that Phillips would stay in place and be very confused as to where Eddie went.
That's fair.
I will try and sneak up on him then, if no one's.
Cool. Go ahead and act under pressure.
That's
Or-
a cool, you said.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will give you this option. You can teleport to him because you can see it.
Okay.
You can see
Yeah.
where he is. And
I'll just teleport to him. Yeah.
So you teleport behind him, in front of him.
In front of him.
Okay. He immediately, like, his eyes kind of, he pulls back, he's got the glasses on, looks up at you, and he goes, ah! And like falls backwards into the muck.
Hi.
And is yelling.
Hi. I would like to talk to you.
And then he pulls his goggles off. He's like, what are you doing out here?
There's an audible
I'm-
slap from the bushes as a hand meets Philip's forehead.
I am looking to talk to you about what you're doing right now and present to
hell
you
are
some
you?
options. I am Cam.
Uh-huh. How'd you just get in front of me?
I moved here.
There was no one in front of me, and then you were just in front of me. I'm not blind or deaf. Not
That's
old.
how moving works. You change your location. Anyways,
It's kind of
would
like
like to talk
just
to you.
looking up at you. It's not running away.
You're doing something here,
None of your business.
and I would like you to stop it.
What do you mean?
I would like you to leave this area of the park alone.
Who you work for?
A power beyond your understanding.
You're running from the government too, and they're all out here.
I am not from the government. I believe that would be something that even you could comprehend.
Well put, well put. He starts like scrambling back, and he's like, "What do you want with me? Are
I
you gonna
would-
probe me?"
Gross. No. I would like you to not come back to this park anymore.
I have rights. I can do whatever I want.
That's not how rights work. And I'm giving you a friendly invitation to listen to me so that I do not have to take more drastic measures than this. Do not worry, either way, you will be fine.
Boy, I would love for you to manipulate somebody. I want to see how this is gonna go.
All right. Was that a charm?
That is a charm.
Do I still have the -1?
Not at this point. It is
Okay.
faded away.
7.
Okay. Oh, that's so they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show them you mean it. And if you ask too much. You're asking a lot of this man. All he wants is to find Bigfoot. What are you gonna give him? What are you gonna tell him to convince him to leave?
What if I could bring you somewhere of your choice? Have you always wanted to live somewhere or visit somewhere?
I don't get into the psyche of this character. He says, "I want to see Bigfoot. I seen him here. I want proof. I'm gonna take his picture, and I'm gonna be famous."
Okay. It's not a real Bigfoot here. There's a fake Bigfoot you could take a picture of.
What do you mean?
There's a fake the Bigfoot sightings around here. They've been faked.
Of course you believe that. You're a sheep.
I'm helping fake them. It serves my purposes.
What do you mean?
I am afraid I cannot go into further detail about that, largely because even I have not been made aware of why it is necessary for me, a person of my stature, to help fake Bigfoot sightings.
So you're telling me you and some other people are out
Mhm.
here tonight faking Bigfoot in the middle of the woods for what? Pictures?
Yes. That's what you were trying to get. Pictures of Bigfoot. Why is this hard for you to believe? This is
Everybody tells me that Bigfoot isn't real, but I saw him. I've smelled him. He is stanky. And I got this. And he pulls up a oh boy. It looks like a moss covered finger.
Ooh.
gross. You chopped off a flippin' finger of something?
That's all I could get.
It's disgusting.
It's mine and it's proof, but I need a picture.
All right, I'll bring you to where you can take a picture of this. You just want a picture.
I want proof.
You have a finger. Isn't that proof?
Everybody says it's fake. I need a picture.
What if that's just some guy's finger and he's gross?
You cannot logic this man out of it. He is convinced. He's also right, so.
Okay. I can bring you to where if I do this, you're not going to hurt them in any way. You're just taking a picture. Do you have a camera?
Holds up a camera.
All right, leave gun stuff behind. Drop it in the swamp.
Betsy? If you could really take me anywhere, take me back to my car.
I don't know where your car is.
It's fair. That's good. He
How
looks
about like
around.
have you ever wanted to go to Hawaii? How about that? You want to go to Hawaii? That seems easier than whatever complicated thing we're doing right now.
I think he's gonna convey that all of his stuff is here. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. But if you're trying to convince him, I think you could convince him by telling him that you will show him the operation. Like, you guys were planning on doing a photo shoot soon anyways. So you could maybe try to convince him that way and be like, hey, look, we'll show you how we do it. So you like prove in that way.
Okay. I can show you the costume. How about that? Our whole setup.
All right. Where? How?
Eddie can
I'm
hear
ringing
any
it.
of this. He is just like freaking out in the other room, like, no, no, no,
Like,
no.
He will agree to this.
All right. And I'm just going to reach out and grab him and try and teleport him to the house.
Right now, you're gonna take him?
I mean, of
Okay.
course he is.
All right, make a roll.
And watch as you mess up this roll, and he's just not a problem anymore.
Yeah, right.
Oh no.
A
Then he's
7.
my
The
problem.
one thing he succeeds on. Oh nope. Okay. Yeah. You arrive at the house. And go. This is where, and you turn around. He's just not there.
God damn.
I actually I have no clue, no way of knowing. I'm just gonna sit here and wait.
I'm gonna teleport back. See if he just stayed behind.
Nope.
Hmm.
Phillips is gonna come out of the bushes with an assault rifle.
Phil, I don't know where he is. He's probably close to where we live, though. That's
I
usually
see.
how it works.
What happened to taking him to England?
You wanted to see Bigfoot.
I see. I'll see what I can do. He touches his ear, and I'm going to deal with the agency.
All right. I think that's a good place for us to pop out for the evening. While Eddie's in the ethereal
This
plane.
is an actual roll, though.
I know it is. Do you want to roll now and we can determine what happens later?
I will be so remiss if I don't find out what happens tonight.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. Well, first of all, my agency's resources are that they're well-armed support teams.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I'm gonna roll when you deal with the agency, requesting help or making excuses for failure, roll plus sharp. On a 10 plus, you're good. On a 7 to 9, things aren't so great. Essentially, it's the way that it always works. I'm gonna make
Yep.
the roll.
Go ahead.
I go submit.
Cool.
Holy shit.
I got a 13. Oh, double sixes, baby.
Hey,
all right.
yo.
So, with my support teams, I
Uh-huh.
would like them to descend on this man and drag him away.
Okay. You don't know where he is, so
I mean,
you get the sense that the team is going to be deployed or is being deployed.
all right.
It's gonna take them a little bit to get there.
That
and deal
is
with it.
that is the attention. He's gonna get his alien abduction story that he desperately desires.
Oh my god. Okay, cool.
This poor man is terrified of the government, and you're sucking it on him.
Yep.
I
Oh
never
yeah.
said I was a part of the government.
That's true.
Yep.
All right. You guys are gotta wait for Eddie to come out of the ethereal. What are you guys gonna do now?
Shoot, I don't know. I'm gonna look at Cam and say, what happened to Eddie?
He disappeared.
In what way?
I don't know. He disappeared. I can't teleport to him, so I don't
Does-
think
does-
he's on Earth, or he
Does-
doesn't exist anymore.
Does God know where Eddie is?
I haven't asked.
Eddie is just between the two of them in the ethereal plane, like, ah! It
Yeah,
just,
I haven't asked. If God wants me to know, he'll let me know. He hasn't given me a different mission, so I'm guessing Eddie is fine, or we're gonna find a way to bring him back to life, or something.
Hmm.
I guess we could try and do some magic and summon him, but
Can a human be summoned? All right.
Well, don't look at me.
I think Phillips and Cam spend some time trying to find Eddie.
All right. Okay. Boy. So this is gonna wear off in an hour. Are you guys staying here, or are you gonna go back to the cabin?
I'm gonna try and pray some magic to have him appear.
Okay. Okay.
I'll assist.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah, you go ahead and roll your help out. No. Wait. Before you roll help out, roll your weird for use magic, and then if it needs a plus, then try to help out. Okay.
Okay.
Can
Oh,
do.
doesn't matter. Even with a
Ooh.
+1.
So how does your magic go terribly wrong?
Bloody- oh, you
Oh.
guys.
Do I the ethereal plane?
Send him to the ethereal plane. Instead of summoning him, he just accidentally teleports to him.
Okay, you were trying to. God, I want you to summon a demon so bad.
Can an angel do that?
No, I don't know. I mean, whatever you want. Cam, your ability to show yourself in any form is broken, and you now, for the next, what'd you roll, a 5?
Mhm.
For the next hour, look like a biblically accurate angel, like 10 foot by 10 foot. Giant, all eyes, all wings, just in front of Agent Phillips.
It's like a chorus of mouths
Yep.
just
mhm.
say once, like, it didn't work. It didn't work.
I do like the idea that the voice is still just normal coming
Yeah,
out of this
But it's just a lot of them.
awe-inspiring.
I think that's a better place
single
to
tear
end.
goes down Philip's face.
All right.
I think your line is, "Be not afraid."
Oh my god. Let's be done with this for this evening.
Yeah.
Prayers.
All right, well done, everybody. You did it. We did it. You guys get to mark experience for the end of session things.
I don't think I failed one roll.
I don't think you did either. You rolled like 11s at
I think
least.
I only failed 3 because those like failing at the
Yeah.
angel wings was still like a success.
Yeah. You and I,
think-
both
think
failed
my
3
lowest
times.
roll was a 9.
Boy. Y'all
Good game, guys.
well, you did. Well done, everybody.
Are
Um,
we gonna pick up from where we left off, or are we gonna have to?
Yes, we are, because you're not done with this mystery yet, baby.
Oh boy!
You don't even know what the thing is.
Gonna send
Alright.
Simon somewhere weird and be like, "That's it."
Yeah. So, but the clock is still counting down. And you're like, why? I don't understand. It's not.
I love that
We
this
did
group,
it. We finished the mystery.
I love this group gets sent to take out a monster, and then decides that the real monster is man.
Yep.
This man
I mean,
in
the real
particular.
monster is Cam. Let's be honest.
All right, what do we got to do to wrap things up?
Well, there's a list of questions. Did we finish the mystery?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Did we learn something new or interesting about any of the hunters?
Yeah, I mean, we learned. We got introduced to them.
Yeah.
That's true. How come I cannot find these?
One of them is,
Let me
did we learn something new and interesting about the world?
That's true. Yes.
I mean, we learned that God exists.
Y'all learned a lot about a lot of things.
Yep.
We did.
That's 2. Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, there. Okay, I found it now.
Okay.
Did we conclude the current mystery? Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
Don't think so. Not yet, at least.
Unclear. All right. So if you get 1 or 2 yes answers, then mark 1 experience. If you got 3, mark 2. So just mark 1 experience.
Okay.
All right. Do we want to do stars and wishes?
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
gonna be an ongoing series, so
Yeah. All right. Who wants to do the first one?
You remember yours from like halfway through the session, Wings?
oh, I got my wish. I need to make a new wish now.
Ah.
I volunteer you as tribute.
Okay. I think my star is going to be for David and just like how straightforward Cam is and how no nonsense and just like, yeah, this is how things are. And like, but also seeing him grapple with like this compassion. The butterfly meme, is this compassion? And so getting to see Cam try and be a people is gonna be a fun journey. And my wish, I want to see what Agent Phillips's magic is like, because we've seen 2 of our magics, but not the rest.
I mean, I haven't used magic, but it's essentially along the same lines.
All right.
I think my star is gonna go to it's a fun session, it's hard. I'm gonna go to Alex on just the setup of, I mean, it continues to just be absolutely absurd what we're doing, and then the way Eddie is taking kind of lead and being like, "Yeah, we're a documentary and we're doing this." It has just been hilarious. I love watching the ridiculous situation that we're in because of flipping Bigfoot, and it's great. I love it. Wish. I wish to David to clearly know what the compassionate answer would have been at the end, even if Cam doesn't get it right.
Okie dokie.
That's a good one. My star is gonna go on. I really like the big feet. That is to say our hench crew Um, they are instantly likable. And I guess my wish is, depending on how long form this game goes, my wish is for some character drama, like some character shit to get involved. Like I like maybe some like danger for the big feet, or like or like some like old um like like specific like character
Backstory to come back
yeah,
and get him, sort
like
of
some
stuff.
backstory
Yeah.
conflict, like
Yeah.
danger for the big feet, like trouble with the law for Eddie,
Mhm.
like
A rival angel for Cam.
Ooh.
maybe, or just
Cam's
like
ex, that's actually a demon now.
uh the media like starting to like pick up on Cam's very obvious movements, um and like Philip just having to deal with his agency.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my wish.
All right. My star is gonna go, excuse me, to today. For playing the straight man, the straight person. Also knowing what I know. I just love the the conversations with your agency and how they work. My wish is that you guys do more research into what this thing is, what these things are, and figure out what you need to do about it, because the problem is not solved. So that's it. We're done for the week. Thanks for hanging out,
Yay!
guys.
I can't wait for next time.
Yeah.
I always have a great time.
Yeah. I love this group. I love you guys. And the way you play, it always makes, and that's why I love, like, running a game for you guys is very easy, because it's just like, here's the outline. Go.
Yeah.
Y'all do. You do.
Yep, that's how Masks goes.
Mhm.
All right, so yeah, that is gonna do it for us tonight. Schedule should be normal, which if you're here live on Twitch is beneath our faces. If you're watching this in the future on VOD or in YouTube, it's on our social medias, which is currently Twitter and Discord. Um, no, I think we're all hoping Twitter survives. We'll see. I have not been on it actually the past several days, so maybe who knows what the social media hellscape is like now after a few days of uh not being on it. Um yeah, next scheduled stream is Thursday for more Monster of the Week goodness in our Elegant Creatures game. Um yeah, other than that, you should follow us on the things so that you know when we're doing stuff. Because things like this, even though this will be semi-regular, this is still a pickup game technically for when Squire Squad is unable to happen. So, being in our Discord is the best way to know what's happening every other Tuesday, and if other spur of the moment things happen. I'm just rambling at this point. Anyone got things they would like to plug or promote before we sign off? Alright, well then, until next time, good games and good night, Internet.